Yo. What's going on, everybody?
Third time charm.
Take 3. Check.
Good Lord. Welcome to Comic Combo Express, everybody. I am your host, Pev Gamer. You can follow me on my socials, all at Pev Gamer. And I am joined with...
Hey, Joe, the Marvel fanboy. How you doing, everybody?
What kind of salute was that?
I'm always saluting.
My name's Anthony, at WebheadVega on all socials. How is everyone doing today?
How you doing?
Doing fine. What is up with... Chat, are we good on audio? You guys hear us okay? Can you guys see us okay?
Mic check, mic check.
Give us one of those weird salute emojis.
I feel like that can go wrong so fast.
Huh.
This is our first episode of No Pros, All Cons, where we review all of the conventions we go through throughout the year. And today, from the Mohegan Sun tribe in, what part of Connecticut is it?
Uncasville,
Connecticut.
Unklesville?
home of the Connecticut Sun. Everyone's
Not for much longer.
Not for much longer.
Until they get bought by Boston. Oh,
We
yeah.
were here for Terrificon. That's right, guys. We went to the famed Terrificon, and it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
This is the 10th year of Terrificon. This is the 10th anniversary. It's the big source of promotion. It's 10 years. This is a big event.
Big shout out to Mitch for putting it together every year for the past 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years already. You know what's crazy to think about? We've gone to a majority of them. We've been to like 6 or 7.
6 out of 10.
6, 7.
6
She was lobbed up to me. I'll throw it down.
It's a good event to go to every year, just like any convention you go to. But Terrificon is more local for us, and it's more. I hate to say it's more fun than any other convention.
Well, that's pretty accurate.
I think it's accurate because
pretty fun.
it's terrific. It's hard to
It's a
explain.
good time, for sure. If you've been to the chaos of New York Comic Con, it's probably about maybe a third of New York Comic Con, but it's not as crazy as the actual New York Comic Con.
Yeah, if you're a fan of meeting the creators and the artists, and you want to see a handful of actors or even shop, this is the perfect place for you. You're not battling people in New York. You can still get very talented people going there. Again, high name artists. This year we had guys like John Romita, Scotty Young, Jonathan Hickman popped up for somehow, some way.
Yeah, that was actually really fun.
Yeah,
There's
very surprising.
There's people that you from way back when, like Mark Silvestri, the Simonsons. I mean, there's so many people that we get, and you get some up and coming people. I mean, it's all over the place. And again, it's a very good convention. It's very surprising for something that's not as big as a New York or San Diego.
Yeah, and the venue itself at Mohegan Sun. If everybody ever goes there, I mean, besides the gambling and the hotels and stuff, they also have nice restaurants that you could go to. Even a little pricey, some pricey, some not pricey, but delicious food. A lot of entertainment there with concerts, and of course the Suns play there as well. And it's a good place for them to actually. I'm surprised over the years they managed to get it there, and it's been there ever since for the past couple of years, which is great. And it's just fun, and like for us, we drove up there because we're that close to it.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. It's terrific.
Just to even go on Anthony's point, right? Like they've been able to get some I would say some very surprising guests. They've had Keanu Reeves. They've had
showed up.
Kevin Conroy before he passed away. They've had
Adam West.
West.
Tim Daly.
Yeah.
This year the cast of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Kevin Eastman, the creator. I mean, it's
that
always
was very
Even
impressive.
the comic book men, one at a time, but they've been down there as well. Except for Kevin Smith. We're waiting for him to come down.
There's some surprisingly big hitters for it being, again, not a huge convention. I mean, it's a good size. It's just when we're getting Jim Lee's and we're getting, again, Scotty Young, who's super hot. Jonathan Hickman, I would say is maybe the second top writer right now in all of comics.
Yeah.
Only behind Scott Snyder. And again, they're 1A, 1B if you really want to push at it. Because again, Ultimate Spider-Man, Absolute Batman.
That's pretty fair.
Biggest runs current comics, which you honestly see two huge names like that. When we had Scott Snyder last year, like
Mark Capullo.
Yeah, that's right.
like 2 months before Absolute Batman. That was
Relatively
that was
close.
right before.
Yeah. Or let's not even forget the fact that they've had who they just had, like you said, Jim Lee. They've had Clayton Crane,
Eric Larson.
Eric Larson.
Over the years.
Who am I thinking of? Who am I missing right now? Welcome back, Frank.
Garth Ennis.
Garth Ennis.
There
Thank
as
you.
well. Oh God.
Yes, Garth Ennis has been there a few times. Definitely big names, more focused on the comic books aspects, but there's something for everybody. There's anime,
yes,
there's voice
anime,
actors,
voice actors.
there's video game actors, there's TV shows, movies, all sorts of stuff for all ages, and it's really good time.
And I'll bet everything for everyone.
Yes,
This year, I believe Bill Diamond is his name. He is a huge name in movie and entertainment. He did the set for Terrifier 3, which is what is really advertising, and he was there for
Right.
E.T. and a couple of the like puppeteer stuff. I mean, he's a huge name in pop culture. And they had I believe it was the original bassist and rhythm guitar of Megadeth. They get some
Yes.
surprisingly big names from not just the world of comics. And there's people with like Doug Jones, who is a renowned actor.
Yeah.
Yes, he's done comic book movies like Hellboy and Silver Surfer and Rise of the Fantastic Four.
but he's on Beastmasters.
Yeah, and he's been in everything, and there was a line for him too. And it's not everyone's not there just for Hellboy and Fantastic. It's a good
Right.
And
variety.
it makes you ask the question: how does Mitch do it every year? He goes out there, goes to other conventions as well, and meets up with them and gives them the invite. Sometimes I talk to these writers and artists about if they're coming back next year, or if they're going to come back for the following year, or if we want to New York Comic Con and ask, hey, they should come down to New York. And they always say the same thing: they're waiting for the invite by Mitch, and they'll be there. So they want to go down there.
Well, and I imagine a lot of our audience who have been to the con and know a little more of the background of it probably have a better insight than we do. But I just discovered this year that it's really a lottery for both vendors and artists and writers to come back. I didn't know that. I thought it was you can kind of figure that out by the end of the con, but no. The sales for the tickets actually go on pre-sale for October and November, and then the booths go on sale December 9th, which is very interesting. I don't know if I've seen any other con do it that way. Most of the time, most of the cons I know, they at the end of the show, they allot the vendors and the artists and the writers to purchase their ticket for the next year. So at least you get a little bit more variety. Like no year is the same for Terrificon. I've noticed that, and I really appreciate that.
Some creators are lucky though.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. Garth Ennis came back two times in a row. Just
Chris
alone.
Claremont's been there. I think it was the last 4 times I've been there.
Scotty Young was there. What, 3 years in a row? 4 years in a row? Or just 2?
I think just 2.
Just 2? Oh, all right.
I think
But
it was 2.
even then, I mean, there's even if you go and you want to shop, every year I would say strong for the last bare minimum 4 years. You walk in through the big double doors, and immediately you're greeted with a huge Funko store where these great guys are selling just Funko Pops. This year was moved a little bit, and it was very jarring. It keeps you on your toes, and I think just small things like that, moving around previous guests, even if it is just shopping, it makes the experience unique. It makes it better. It makes it different.
Did you actually feel so? Obviously, at the end of the show, we'll put our ranking on each aspect of the show. But I just want to say it off rip. I think this was probably the worst for shopping out of the last 6 years that we've gone.
Kind of disagree. I mean,
you think this was the better one?
No, I think it's different. It was different. I don't think it was the word. I think it was different. It shifted. Something shifted, like what was being sold.
Well, I'm not saying worse in sense of like, oh, it was all shit products. I mean, like there wasn't anything that really pulled me in to buy, other than the comic books, which are pretty, every year I normally buy a shit ton of Funko Pops, some statues, some knickknacks, and I really didn't do that this year. There wasn't anything that really called to me the same way that it has in previous years. Would you agree, Anthony?
And I think it's fair to some degree. Again, there's a lot of you really look for so many things, and there were a lack of places that sold variety. There was a really good place that I saw on the last day that sold just horror stuff, and that was like a really cool find right at the end of the convention. But it's hard when there's comic book place, and down an entire aisle, which I get, it's a comic book convention. You want comic books, but it was a lot of seeing the same thing over and over. I think this is the most repetition I've seen at a comic convention.
Yeah, I agree with that.
With that being said, I thought there was more selling graded books and services like that. Then I very much appreciated that. Again, we all like to go to CGC booths and figure out what we want. I think this year people were actually sending more books in and getting them back to sell at the convention, which is really cool. But I do think a lot of the normal vendors were just hey, check out this comic book shop, which is fine, but I like a
Well,
little more variety.
I was actually more happy there was more vendors of comic books out there because there was more choices, especially if you're looking for back issues that you needed to find. You had, if you couldn't find it in one section, like one area of selling comic books, the very next section was another section of comic books, and they might have had it.
Yeah, I noticed
And it
this
was
year
all-
you completed your Spider-Man 2099 run,
And
right?
by the way, thank Anthony for that one. He managed to help me find my only missing Spider-Man 2099 issue, issue 34
35, I
or
believe.
35. It was the first appearance of Venom,
Spider-Man of the 2099
origin-
or Venom of the 20.
Venom 2099.
Yeah, sorry.
And I missed that issue, and I was never able to find it in any comic store. And this year, Anthony went there with the promise that he was going to find it, and he actually found it. And the reason why he found it because there was so many comic book vendors out, and that was probably a plus.
Pedro, do you mind bringing your mic in just a tad closer?
So, to get back to your point, last year, like you said, you
Yeah.
walked in, and what attracted you was the Funkos. And
I would actually say maybe the last
2 years.
I would say mostly
A couple
Funkos.
years. It's not. It's
Yeah.
He saw this. It looked like an igloo section of Funkos, and he
Sure.
was there every day of those 3 days, those 2 years, and he bought a lot of Funkos. This year, yes, it didn't attract him this year, but but for every, like you said, but one thing that wasn't attractive to you, there was something else, something new. And I will bring this up right now. You ended up being really attracted to that cosplay little vendor.
Oh, the dude who made the helmet for me.
and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the most
That's
I've ever
cool.
seen. Because I told, go ahead.
I agree with you. There was new and niche things there. I loved it. But in terms of like volume of things that I purchased, it was my 2 issues of Spider-Man 26, the Black Cat variants.
Right.
That mask, that helmet,
Which was
fucking
awesome.
awesome.
Spider-Man. You gotta see it.
I'll be showing it off on cosplay stuff in the future for them too. But that was really cool. And then I purchased a Funko Pop, and that was really about it. Where in previous years, I walked away with droves of Funkos, figures, statues, comic books.
You had enough Christmas presents.
For real.
Last few years, we've also been looking for the McFarlane multiverse toys from DC.
Oh yeah,
And
that's a big one.
I think I might have saw them in 2 vendors out of the entire thing, or it could have been much more than that. I mean, we went from seeing them in almost every corner to seeing it in a corner.
There was one group of guys, and I forget which group of guys. They come every year, and their whole store is. I would say I shouldn't say the whole store. 90% of it is the DC multiverse and McFarlane figures, and the final section is Marvel Legends and stuff like that. It's all figures based. And that's another thing. I normally get at least one thing from them every year, and this year they had nothing that attracted me.
Like I said, I think this was the year back issues. Find your back issues. Find out there was an alternate cover. Find out there was a special cover. Signed issues, CGC book. I think this was the year like you went there and that's what you were finding all over the place, and that was a good thing.
Sure, but like I digress. This was definitely the lower year of shopping, I would say, of retail.
Yeah, it's lowest in recent memory, but I would hold my breath on calling it the lowest like ever.
Well,
Again,
I'm not saying ever. Yeah, just
in
from the times we've been.
last few years. Yeah. Again, there's some very highs and there's some very lows. Also, one big thing I noticed about guests and shopping it was a huge step away from pro wrestling. Every year they have AEW wrestlers. They had Samoa Joe last year, Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust. I think a couple years ago they had like Sammy Guevara maybe or Darby Allin was there.
Yes.
They've always had
Always
some name there. Usually they have like about 3 a year.
This year didn't have
And
any.
this was the first year I think they had nobody.
Yeah, they
And
had no one in pro wrestling.
I was waiting. And even how SummerSlam was, I think,
Came
a
and
week
went.
after. That was in New Jersey, which again stayed over. It seems like it was perfect. Again, I was
mean,
just very surprised.
Did anybody else feel that the niche wasn't actually treated because where they normally set up is where when you guys go into the vendor, if you're looking at the door, the multi doors, it would be all the way to the left, all the way at the end. That's always where the pro wrestling was set up. But they were replaced from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this year. That was the cast,
Which was cool.
and I actually don't think they're the ones that replaced the pro wrestling. I think it actually was on the other side. That was the first time we had 3 dedicated voice actors to gaming. We had 3 members
that's
of the
true.
Baldur's Gate community, and there was supposed to be more, but the guy who voices Gale pulled out at the last minute.
There's 2 voice actors who canceled.
Oh, there was 2. Okay, yeah.
So
So
they were replaced. So
and it was still video games. So I wonder if that was the niche they pulled out. They said, let's see if we can get people who are in gaming.
well, there's also 2 other factors that we don't talk about. So most of the wrestlers now they have their own convention now. The
Fanatics is a big sport convention, not exclusive to wrestling, but
right.
WWE
Is
got
it
unlicensed
national
for it.
though?
Yeah.
I believe it's. I
There's
think
one
it's
in
just
New
at
York and
the
one in-
Javas, and I don't know if
I think
there's
there's one in California too.
So it's just the 2 major venues.
Exactly.
So I don't know if it's the same.
Well, but most of the stars are the WWE stars are probably like they're contracted to go there. The AEW star don't get it, but I also found out that at the same time that Terrificon was going on, Boston
Boston Fanatics
Expo was on.
Hmm.
Expo was on, and there was some WWE stars and AEW stars that were there. So
Mhm.
maybe they were just to go to the bigger ones.
I mean, sure. I actually really want to go to Boston Expo one of these years because I've heard that's a really good vendor.
It would
as
be
well.
good, but now they're both. I'm not even sure if they're competing, but it's on the
Oh,
same
all-
weekend now.
All
So weird.
conventions are competing. Let's be very real.
Yeah, but I mean,
If you're not like a specific niche and you're just you're an a la carte for comic books, you're in competition with each other.
Well,
For sure.
I met one fan and waiting in line who I think he was there Friday. We were all waiting in line. He was there just for one day. He bought a 1-day ticket for Terrificon, which is good for him. And then he said the next day he was going to the Boston Expo to see more guests to get more autographs for his book. So I kind of respected them. And I asked him what he was going to do Sunday. He thought he was coming. He said he was coming back to Terrificon. So I was like, oh, that's a win for us then. So I'll take that. Because
For sure.
well, like I said, I think the venues helped me because as a comic book fan, I was going to do my shopping on a Sunday because that's the last day of the weekend. We were there the 3 days. And I decided I'm going to go into the first day. I had like a backpack full of books. I wrote a whole list. I'll show you real quick. And these were all like my.
Hang on one second. Hang on 1 second. Hi, Barton. Welcome to the stream, my friend. What's up, dude?
What's going
Sorry.
on?
Going on?
Sorry, we got some new faces in. So I was gonna say.
Hello to the new faces.
Welcome.
Even though we've probably seen you at the same convention like 9 times, like it's. I'm sure. Hi. I'm sure we've seen you.
So I would go there with a backpack full of these comic books, and I would go to all the comic book creators. That's the first day I go to see, have them autograph my books, pay them, and everything like that, and meet them. I think that the most important part of getting my book signed is to meeting these creators. I told the guy, I said, as soon as we get there, the first person we're going to see was Jonathan Hickman, and went to the line. We were actually the first in line, which was great. He shows up. Nice guy, great writer.
Actually, I'm so sorry. Just before we go into that, that's the other thing I want to ask now. So now that we're away from the retail and the shopping aspects, how did you guys feel about comic purchases? Just before we go into the creators, I think the venues that they had for comic book stores and stuff like that, I think they did a really good job this year.
Yes.
Did you notice a lot of books were jacked up? Like a lot of the Todd McFarlane run books were double than what they were last year. I know you got very lucky with Spider-Man 209 and you got lucky with Thor issues, but what did you guys think of in terms of comic purchases?
So I have some strong feelings about this, and that's
let's hit them up.
specifically because of the comic fan I am. For those who know me, I'm a huge Spawn fan, and then I also love a lot of indie series like Hellboy, The Boys, and a lot of horror genre stuff. So again, it's not just the Universal monsters, which I think there was an overwhelming number of Mark Spears monster books. That's just because it's hot. It's relatively new. But I want the Friday the 13th. I want the Child's Play, Leatherface, and the Texas Chainsaw. And that simply...
I don't mean to interrupt you. Barton said that he's actually going to Fan Expo this weekend and meeting a whole lot of writers and artists. And ask your friend what he thinks of Spawn Rat City. So if you don't mind, first I want to ask Barton, what writers and artists are you excited to meet? And then if you have a feeling about Rat City, and then we get right back to it.
Rat City.
All that.
So my problem
It's basically Spawn 2099.
My problem with Rat City is it's not something it's not for me. Again, a lot of the Spawn series I like are the super horror books, the Jason Sean Alexander books. And even like the ones that are a little more over the top like the David Hine runs. But my problem with Rat City is it's not for me. It's not for the new audience. It's not. I think it's designed to be a new audience. It's a little more flashy. It very much is just like a Batman Beyond or Spider-Man 299 esque, where it's we're not in the setting we normally are. And I like the writer. I think she's good. It's not for me. It's not.
Okay.
Even as a Spawn fan.
Yeah, there's some Spawn books where I'm like I'm scratching my head at the end of it, but it just didn't excite me. I had the first few issues, and maybe if some of the newer issues are really jumping at you, let me know. But I picked up the first like 4, maybe 5, and I couldn't do it.
That's fair.
What fan expo is he going to this weekend?
He is called the Fan Expo. Martin, where is
which
Fan
city?
Expo? If you don't, what city? Yeah.
Fan
If you don't
Expo
mind me
is
asking.
It was at
multiple places.
Boston last weekend, so I wonder what's coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Baltimore.
I know. Oh, it could be.
But for sure, Jim Lee, Steve McNeven,
Nice.
for Daredevil, Cold Place in Hell,
Yep,
Jason
Steve McNeven.
Aaron, OG X-Men 97 voice actors.
Oh yeah.
And it's in Toronto. It's Expo Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
All right, so
Toronto.
the day. No, I'm just playing.
Oh.
Don't unfollow. Don't unfollow. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. No, that's awesome, Barton. You're gonna have a lot of
We're
fun.
gonna have so much
Yeah.
fun.
Jason.
You
I just want to say Jason Aaron is an absolute sweetheart. He's a great guy.
He is very.
I talked about Southern Bastards, his indie book, and it was nice. He's a really good guy about
That's
it.
a good series. Southern Bastard. Read that. Really good series.
Barton, if you check out our YouTube channel, Comic Convo Express, feel free to message us. We'd love to hear about your experience at Fan Expo. We'd love to talk about it with you.
Oh, heck yeah.
Southern Bastards, super underrated.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
With Jason Aaron and Jason Latour.
I do want to swing back to that initial point I was making.
Yes, please do. I'm
As someone who is a big Spawn fan, a big fan of like Hellboy, it was very hard to find book of note. Obviously you could turn and bump into a Spawn one anywhere at this point at a convention. It's a book they reprinted and they
Barton, thank you so much for the follow.
Yeah,
He's our new buddy.
so like it's whatever. Like you can find a Spawn one anywhere. It's fun. You find the first few issues in a lot of places. Then you get to like past like 30, and you're like, all right, it's here, it's there, it's there. Then you get to the 40s and the 50s and 60s, on, and you're like, all right, maybe I can find a couple here, a couple there, but nothing of note, nothing of value. But then there's a huge dip off once you pass like 50, and you can't find anywhere from 50 really until like 280s.
Even the 200s are really hard to find too.
That's partly because there are all low print. Image went through a lot of bankruptcies and stuff, and Spawn definitely felt that. But there's just not a lot of Spawn variety. And then guys like there's like no Hellboy books. I was lucky enough to find not only the first 4 issues of Hellboy, but also his first appearance in Next Men 21.
Which is his first color appearance, correct?
He was in a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I haven't done as much research on it, but it's like a blink and you miss it. He's not really a fleshed out character just yet.
He's also in black and white.
Yeah.
You found this at the comic shop there at Terrificon? Or?
And I've never seen the San Diego Comic-Con one, but I found the next one his first true appearance.
Yes.
And then his first run as Hellboy, the first 4 issues. So these were
real quick. I'm so sorry. Barton says definitely getting issue 1 of Bastards and Absolute Superman signed. And he said Mark Brooks is his favorite cover artist. And true, hardly any. Still love BPRD though.
Oh God. I'm stressed. I'm tired. I wish I had some energy.
Well, luckily for you, Pedro, there is Dobby.
Wow. 0 sugar? No caffeine? Is this an energy drink?
It sure is an energy drink, made with all natural ingredients, including coffee bean extract, which is supposed to be really good for you.
Wow. I can feel it already. I like it so much. I decided I'm going to give you all 10% off the entire order just using the promotional code PEVGAMER.
Wait, can he do that?
Yeah, go to www.dubby.gg and get your dub on.
Use promo code PEVGamer for 10% off your entire order. And thank you, WTG, for being a sponsor of the channels. What do you mean I'm fired?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Again, like Hellboy stuff, it just I would go up to booths and they'd be like, "Hey, like, what do you want?" And I'm like,
What's up, Redwood?
"Oh, Redwood." I'd be like, "Hey, like, I want Hellboy," and they would look at me, and I'd be like, "Okay,
Dude, oh my god, yeah, a couple of the vendors was looking at him like he had four heads.
I'm like, I get Hellboy isn't as popular, but like, and then again, if they had Hellboy books, it wasn't Hellboy. It was like itty bitty Hellboy, or it was his side characters, which like cool, but it's just I wanted I wanted the big brand names. I wanted the high ones.
See, Hellboy was popular enough to spawn 3 movie adaptations. Like, he must have some form of popularity to attract that many people, right? And I mean, you can make the argument about a lot of things that have had big picture films, but none of them stick out like Hellboy. Like, you have, sure, 300, Sin City. What's the other one I'm thinking of? That was a comic book adaptation. The Crow. Even the Old Guard, right? These are
Dredd.
Judge Dredd. Well, okay, so Dredd might be the only exception to what I'm going to say, but a lot of those comic books got movie adaptations because they were popular enough, but almost exclusively Hellboy is a recurring character that has his own series, so I'm surprised he doesn't have more mainstream popularity, but maybe I'm wrong on that one. I think the Hellboy 2019 film gave it a bad rep. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today? We're good, Redwood. How are you, buddy?
Redwood.
I don't know much about Hellboy, but I can say he looks sick. Hellboy's awesome. Oh, he was popular enough to be in Injustice too as a DLC.
Hell, he's popular to have his own AAA. Was it? I don't know if it's AAA. I'm be honest.
It was
game
indie.
recently, indie game.
Yeah,
but that was like released decently wide. Like it was a pretty.
It was on
game.
all consoles.
Was it super bugged? Yes, but he had his own video game recently.
Oh my god,
we haven't seen a Spawn game since the PlayStation 2. I mean, and that man's still going. He has one series. Hey, give him Rat City. Rat City game. Let's take it. Please.
Maybe they should.
Todd. They're not in bankruptcy anymore.
I miss Injustice.
You know, they're not in bankruptcy. And if he was, he'd be coming to these conventions. Todd, please. Please, Todd. It's me.
God, you're on his list. That is all I can say.
If anyone knows Mitch's number, please, I'll do anything for Todd McFarlane. Please.
Todd McFarlane coming to Terrificon would be freaking amazing. We've already got Jim Lee.
Yes, we had Jim Lee. We had Sylvester this year.
Yep.
I think Todd McFarlane is
Yes,
going to
Todd, please.
God forbid they have anything like the Jim Lee special or the.
I would talk to Mitch right now.
I know you're still sad about losing Angela.
It hurts, but then what's his name got canceled, so it's like slightly better for me now.
Marvel.
What's his name? The writer.
Neil
Gaiman got canceled, so fuck him.
You have the first appearance of Angela signed by him, right?
I do. I got CG Seed when he was still good.
Wow.
What? I didn't get canceled. That was him.
Bart Snett forgot he got canceled.
Rich, if you're hearing it,
I didn't forget.
We have a request for Todd McFarlane to come back next year, the following year.
Yeah, everyone who came over from
bucket list.
Just God forbid they give like a JR thing where you sign up ahead of time, or like Jim Lee, where you're paying $100 for 3 books. God forbid you do that for McFarlane, because I'm.
Well, you know what would happen? You know what would happen? McFarlane would charge $100 and then still only let you sign 1 book.
Hey, I'll
do it.
Yeah, listen, I would do it too.
As long as he gets that would fulfill his
It's
dreams.
me, Todd.
Please.
You know?
Yes.
See, that should be the ultimate goal of our show, to have Todd McFarlane as a guest. That'd be so much fun.
Got a chance to be a terrific
via Skype. Anything. Talk about baseball the entire time, Todd. Please. Anything.
Def Todd would do that. He 100% would. All right, so I'm sorry. I sidelined this real quick though. So you would say that in terms of purchasing comic books, it was harder for you to find the run of what you wanted to get most of the time.
I will say one of the few huge positives is where a lot of vendors were carrying the hip hop covers for Marvel,
Yes.
which was a lot of like iconic or like 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s hip hop covers like Illmatic by Nas was Miles Morales. Who is De La Soul was someone pretty big. They had one of their album covers were I saw a bunch of times. Outcast was the Outcast covers. That was like one of the big things where I barely saw it in years past. I saw it in decent numbers.
They were probably alternate covers.
The Twitch.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, we're good. You know what was really cool to see too? You picked up a while ago from Big Time Collectibles. You were able to get the M&M covers, right?
I remember that.
Yeah,
I saw one CGC'd.
of course.
Yeah,
That's
like
hilarious.
at the convention. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Outcast, the classic.
Yeah. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Hey, George, what do you think about the shopping situation with comics? What was your idea?
Well, I did have one complaint, minor, but still, I mean, it's the decision of the vendors. I was looking for Incredible Hulk. The first, I guess it was the first time Wolverine fought the Hulk.
The
Todd McFarlane cover.
Yeah, Tommy Firefly. He's on the cover with the claws. And I was said, you know what? Let me price them out. I went to a couple vendors. Some of it was like 200, some was like 180. You know, so I was trying to like, okay, whoever's cheaper, I'm gonna get.
I'm so sorry. That M&M cover was not the Scarlet Witch cover, right? It's the M&M series cover.
I think it was the M&M series.
Yeah, it's the M&M series. Okay, it's not the Scarlet Witch cover. I
Sadly
think I know which one he's talking about. I'm sorry. Continue.
So I remember going to one that said, oh, they were selling it for $70. I was ready to buy it. And that stopped me. That stopped me from buying
I
it.
stopped you.
I looked at the cover. It looked like it was a silver cover. So it was like, oh, I've never seen that before. It looks pretty cool. And as he looked it up on his phone, and I'm trying to decide if I was gonna buy it for 70
So
bucks.
wait, slow it down just for a hot second.
Yes.
Couple of vendors tried this before you continue. Now keep going.
Well, I'm gonna explain that.
Explain.
So it was that cover. It looked practically brand new. It was shining. It was $70, and Kev talked me out of it not to getting it. As I walked away,
Well,
and
tell
he
him
showed
why.
me the book, the cover on his phone. It was a facsimile edition. Now, this is something that's brand new. It's basically
wait. Explain what a facsimile is for people who don't know.
that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Facsimile editions are like reprints of original issues. So they're not like the original issue. It's just reprinted the same way, except you buy it at the normal price. So, example, I recently bought the facsimile edition of the Dark Phoenix because I only have a few of them. I just missed it, but I just wanted the facsimile edition since I couldn't find the original, and I'll just fill up my whole list of books. And you bought them for it was like $3.99 or $4.99. If it's a special cover, it was $5.99. No big deal. It's newer price, newer book. But the thing is, it's reprinted page by page from the original. So you're still buying a reprint. So when I saw this cover, it's a special cover of a facsimile edition, and to me that would have been if it came out early this year, or maybe late last year. To me, it should have been maybe like $40, and they were charging it for 70.
And we were able to find it online for 30.
For 30.
So facsimiles too.
Very
some-
tricky.
Yeah, they're definitely tricky because they look like the original book. Sometimes they do special foils and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Now, there was another vendor, actually not too far from where we saw that one, that had all of the facsimiles they released this year. So it was Daredevil, Man Without Fear.
Which I have now.
You have it. Yep. There was one issue was Spider-Man, I think.
Amazing Spider-Man
Spider-Mans.
issues, a bunch of Uncanny X-Men
X-Men.
books.
They were all lined up. The guy was asking 15 to 20 a piece. Now, mind you, those books
That's
just
fair.
came out a few months ago. And even then, you can still buy them from like Big Time Collectibles for like $5-6 a piece.
Right.
So I understand the vendors have to make their money, but like maybe mention they're a facsimile and don't try to trick somebody.
That's
So-
the issue.
One of like the big things is you could tell for yourself. I know.
Just for the new readers, I
Well, so there. Oh, absolutely. I recommend still buy them if you're in the comic shop. Go buy them. Absolutely. Maybe not for that much. I wouldn't buy it for collection purposes, but like a lot of like the Marvel Legends when they released those books, they had like the black border around them, so you could that's the Marvel Legends, like that's the original book. Also for like when they were selling them in stores, sometimes again they would have like cover A, cover B, then maybe it's like almost like a newsstand, but you could tell maybe the bar is different or it's in a different place. So you could kind of easily identify, oh, this is not the original, but it's something adjacent to it. And for Fastmans, they're supposed to be.
Tax is very real. I'm sorry. I'm reading Barton's. I love Barton. He's so cool.
What do you say? What do you say now?
He said the contacts is very real.
The contacts is very.
Which I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you just for a hot second.
Yeah.
That same Hulk cover, the McFarlane cover,
Yes.
that Wolverine cover.
Mhm.
Also, last year, the most you would find it for at the con was $130. This year, it bumped up to $250,
Yeah.
which was freaking insane. But I get it. Popularity
That-
of Wolverine and Deadpool because they recreated that.
And I'm not mad at that. I mean,
I'm not
that's
either.
smart
No, no.
vendors. That's us,
course.
how bad we want it. But if it's a facsimile edition, like you said, be upfront with it. Let us know what it is and explain why it's that
You
high.
literally had to pull it out of him because he was going to let you just buy it thinking it was the original.
Exactly. I was thinking it's the original. I was ready
Yeah.
to buy it, and he
The cheapest I saw that cover for an original print was, for whatever reason, the newsstand edition was cheaper than the standard print,
yes,
which was crazy to me. But
that
is
true.
that common? I thought newsstands
No,
were like
no.
the first prints.
Yeah, newsstands, they come out as the same print, and just it's strictly distributor at that point.
Yeah.
Again, because you can't buy newsstands at non-newsstand places.
Mhm.
So they're usually more rare, they're usually more valuable. So ideally, they're going to be a little more expensive. But again, I picked up a lot of the McFarlane keys last year. Last year was a great year for shopping at booths. Had a great 2024 was, I think, an all-time high for shopping in general. I was able to negotiate and get the Incredible Hulk, and I got
First
ASM. Yeah, was that
300? 301?
Three. Oh, I got those.
289.
It was the one where Venom's over Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
I think I
the
got
McFarlane
those
cover. Yep.
together at one booth for like 200. It could have been much like, it wasn't far away from that. I was able to figure my way out through that. I wasn't, and that's pretty much what it was costing for that Incredible Hulk book.
Right.
Yeah.
And
He was. I just remember last year watching you negotiate all these books you were buying. I'm sitting. It was like watching a TV show, those reality shows where I could.
No, he's
down to
good.
bring it
He's
down. He was
really good at that.
This year I couldn't even try doing. I think I only did it once, and that was it. It was fair. But the other times, like if I bought a book I really wanted, the guy already knew I really wanted, and I was like, you know what, it's worth what I'm paying for. It's good.
Redwood says cons in the UK are shit. I need to try to get to the US. They sound more fun. I 100% agree with that.
100%.
If you can, if you have
see
the
you in New York,
you should.
baby.
See you in New York.
See you New York. There's San
New
Diego,
York,
the two
I-
big ones.
I know
There's-
you have a very strong opinion on Terrificon's your most preferred because it's so close and it's smaller.
of
But
course.
I really freaking love New York. Going to New York anytime is like when you're a kid and Christmas morning comes, like that's New York Comic Con for me. It's chaotic, but it's so much fun. So if I can go every year, I would. But
if you're capable of handling the chaos,
I think I could.
those
I
big
think
conventions
I
are the
able
place to go. But I think Terrificon, what makes it terrific, it's not chaotic. And it
Terrific,
still,
I might
and it
say.
still feels like Christmas. You're still gonna find the stuff you want. You're still gonna meet the people you never thought you were gonna meet, and it's just it's fun. It's
I've
fun.
gotten some really
Yeah.
cool stuff from
and
New
the
York,
and everybody who
Terrificon.
goes there are so, I don't know, positive. I think it's the why. Everybody, there was no one person in Terrificon, even the fans who were not in a bad mood.
Okay, but whenever we get stuck behind a long box, then we're all in a bag.
Oh, because we're hunting down books. But that's I've been talking about, like if you're waiting in line, like if you're in a long
Oh,
line,
hang
let's say
on,
trying
Hang on 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Go for it.
Do you guys have a Discord or Insta? Yes, Barton, we have a Instagram. It's Comic Combo Express. We don't really have too much posted on there, but we are going to start using it. And if you want to check it out, I have a Discord for my Pev Gamer stuff that we also announce all our Comic Combo Express stuff on. I will get you that link. I'm sorry, continue.
No, I forgot what we were talking about.
So,
If you're in a long line trying to meet Chris Claremont, I mean, you would be upset being in a long
Yeah,
line,
sure.
especially if it's moving slow. But the thing is, your fellow fans around you, they're very nice and they communicate. They like to communicate about Chris Claremont, about anybody else that's going on Terrificon, and it makes time pass so fast that in a blink of an eye, you're right there, you're next.
Which I'm so sorry. I'm going to ask Anthony because he was with me for it. Do you remember last year? Yeah,
What happened last?
we were meeting Mark Bagley, who, for
Oh.
you guys who don't know, Mark Bagley is a predominant Marvel Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
artist.
he's the Spider-Man guy.
He is the Spider-Man guy. He also did the original Ultimate Spider-Man line,
Yeah.
which I
my
freaking
guy.
love. We were going to meet him for the first time, and we were going to get a couple of our books signed, and we got stuck behind a guy with a long box Like with every issue of Ultimate Spider-Man 1, every freaking, or I'm sorry, I said 1, the original Ultimate Spider-Man run.
Mhm.
So Anthony and I are understandably pissed. So him and I are leaning back and forth at each other, clowning on this guy, and we're like, he's definitely doing this to save his house or something. Hi, Mr. Bagley. Please sign every issue I have of Ultimate Spider-Man. This is gonna save my mortgage.
Listen, no personalization, just work for you.
Well, I hear now. I think that's what makes.
God, I need the guy from CGC.
every artist now. Not
Stop.
But I think every writer and artist now are limiting how many books they're allowed
Yeah.
to sign, so that way it doesn't hold up the line. Like if you got more than 10 books, we'll get those 10 books signed, but then the rest of your long backs have to go back to the end of the line and go over this again. So it's I think that's
Sure.
starting to help.
We have our first question actually.
for it.
So Barton asked, how bad was the lines for the artists and writers at Terrificon? I know you have a lot more experience because you were in a lot more lines with us. Would you say a majority of them were bad or good?
This year was good. I think only one artist I did not get to. I knew it was going to be bad. I waited till Sunday. I got in line, and because he had a panel, he wasn't there, and I missed him completely. But it was
Who was that?
Walt Simonson.
Walt
His
Simonson?
line, because it kind of like he splits in two lines. You got a line just people who want some books autographed, and then he had another line of people who wanted sketches.
Yeah.
And he would like alternate, like he'll get book signed, then he would start doing a sketch.
Oh my God.
All books
He
like
did that a few years ago when we were getting something signed and they stopped the line. He stops autographing and he just starts drawing. It wasn't for anyone. He just
I think that was Walt last year.
what's that? Walt?
Yeah, that was Walt. That's why I finally got to him.
funny.
But this year, I found that there was two lines. That's why his lines look really bad, and I didn't want to. I knew it was going to be long, so I figured I'd wait till Sunday. It was the one autograph I had Sunday just to do it. If I didn't get him, it was okay.
But how many other artists and writers did you get, would you say?
I got majority of people on my list.
Yeah, if you had to put it to a number, out of how many people do you think you got signatures from?
Based on the number I wrote down, 40.
40?
40
And how many
writers
of
and
those do you
artists.
think you were really waiting in line for? Like for a super long period of time? Probably 2, 3?
I say about this year about 3. 3 long. It went by quick and everything. The year before that, I would like to. I think it was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So it's improving every year, you know. People come in long boxes like in that situation. That's why it probably takes on.
And it also depends how much like how much you want it. Again, we went in the first day and we knew Jonathan Hickman could get really bad really fast, so we went to Jonathan Hickman. That was the first thing we
got a
did.
game.
Yeah, we had to. We had to.
So the next or Sunday, we were like, we need to get Scotty Young, so we went to. No, let me Saturday.
That
Did
was
we go
Saturday.
Saturday?
It was Saturday.
Saturday we saw Scotty Young.
Yeah, and
That was where we started.
it was.
You're right, because I was dressed up as the Vault Dweller.
We went 3 days. We picked 3 people, and I think third day was. Did you go to Simonson for the third?
I went to Diamondson the third. I went to you were at
I went to a couple people.
you went to a couple people.
I
Like it was Palmiotti and
and Connor, which I'm more talking to them later. They were amazing people. This is the third time I met them.
Yeah, awesome.
Great time, but we'll get to that in a little
I was happy to hear from Connor, Amanda Connor. It's the first time that she talked. It was awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I think Claremont's always a big line. But it was a good experience when we got to see him and then you realize why there's a line. He's not only signing your books, and there's people who have multiple books, but he talks to you.
He does.
And this year, out of left field, I decided, let me just talk to him about something that's not comic bookish. So he signed my book, real nice to me. I decided to talk about sports. I figured if I stumped him, I'll feel bad because if some creators, I don't watch sports. So I just like went random his favorite sports team. And it got him to think. He literally stopped signing. He just think about it. He wanted to be neutral. And he said, Dan
Slott did that too.
The Brooklyn Dodgers. And I kind of respect that answer. But then he went on telling me a story that he was a Yankee fan. And when the Dodgers, he was actually a Dodgers fan. And then when they left, he was a Yankee fan. And that was before the Mets came in. And then when the Mets came in, he kind of stayed a Yankee fan as well. So I joked around with him. I was like, all right, what about football? Because I'm a football fan. So he said the Giants. And I was like, oh, cool. So I was like, so what do you think about the Jets? And he goes, who? And he's straight faced. So I looked at him, I was like, the Jets, New York Jets. He goes, who? And it occurred to me that he's making fun of him, so I'm just going to go along with this. Like, the Jets? Like, I started going slower. And he looks at everybody else in the crowd and goes, he doesn't get the joke, huh? He doesn't like the Jets, basically. So I got it, and I was laughing with him. But it was just nice to get that interaction out of him and make him feel comfortable there
So,
as well. And I
Barton
hope he comes
also
back as well.
Barton said that Dan Slott does that too with his 2 lines.
Yes.
He loves to talk.
He's on my list. I need to meet Dan Slott.
Oh, you haven't met
I
Dan
have
Slott
not
yet?
met Dan Slott yet.
You know what? Just for the new faces, do you want to recap the time you met and had lunch with Joe Quesada?
Well, it's been we did put that in one of our episodes.
Yes, we did, but for the new faces.
For the new faces,
Run through it, 'cause you talked to who'd you talk about at the convention with? I was with you.
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
I met Ralph Macchio this year, and we decided to bring
He's
that.
very nice, by the way.
Nice guy. He signed one of my Avengers book. It was us honor to meet him. And I was looking at him and asking him if he remembered me. And he had that face like, yeah, I did seen you before, but don't remember. So I kind of replayed the story, and this was involving Joe Quesada. I went to a convention in New York one year. I think it was the Big Apple Con. And as soon as you walk in, you bought a ticket. You donate $10. You're a chance eligible to win a lunch with Joe Quesada. So we answered it a couple times.
What was Joe Quesada at the time?
He was the editor-in-chief of Marvel at the time. It was 2001.
Okay.
So, I put it in. I didn't think it was going to win or anything. And they called me a couple of days later, so they had won that contest, to come back down to New York and meet up with Joe Quesada at the Marvel building at the time. So I went down there, took a train down there. I was thinking, wasn't expecting. I had a couple books from the sign. And he comes up with me with, I think it was assistant Gabriel and somebody else. And we walked like 3 or 4 blocks away from the Marvel building to this restaurant. Nice place. We chat, we were eating, we were having a good time talking. I got to interview him straight up and everything. And then as we walked back to the Marvel building, I thought it was it. Like I was ready to go home. And he goes, "Hey, you want to do a little tour in the Marvel building?" I was like, "Hell yeah." I said, "That's like a check box in my life. Let me go see this place." Took me upstairs. It was up in I don't know what floor. It was really up there. Walk out there, saw the waiting room, walked past it, saw Thor's hammer in the waiting room. It was pretty cool. Walked in, and that's when I met the Marvel bullpen. Like it was I think it was Terry. It was some of the editors. Like I'm trying to remember. Ralph Macchio was one of them, and I remember joking with him, and he remembers me saying this. I kept saying, "Hey, Ralph Macchio, like you were in the Karate Kid." The guy, I didn't mean to offend him, but it was a joke. And he laughed. And he goes, "No, I'm the other guy. The guy who always gets beat up." So it was pretty funny. He remembered me that moment, and because I met Tom DeFalco, I think at the time, and Tom Brevoort. And they showed me all these books that were going to come out within a year that I'd never seen before, and I was amazed by it. And it was a great time. But to recap it with Ralph Macchio, who remembered me being there, we're talking about like almost 20 years since I was there.
That's so wild.
He remembers me. I was like very honored that he remembered me.
Sorry, I figured that story would be really well to lean into that. So
of course, it's funny. I always win these little contests. We'll get to that later.
You do.
Is there a prompt that we're gonna follow, or should I just go straight into my stuff?
Either way.
Well, I had the prompt about. So we would say that comic book purchasing. Like, what do you guys think? Was it good this year? Was it bad?
I
Was it
thought it was great. I went in there with a budget. I was budgeting strictly on the books that needed to be signed.
Not writer and artist. I mean, just purchasing books.
Right.
I mean,
well, that was the problem. I went in there with this amount of money just for this. If I have anything extra, I was going to do a little shopping, maybe try to get 1 or 2. And for some lucky way, I was off on my projections. Some writers and artists were charging more or less. And I ended up having enough money that Sunday, after I couldn't get Walt Simonson's to sign, I decided to do my shopping. A lot of books that I took home. I was very
Martin
happy.
very much enjoys Joe Quesada's Daredevil art. So that's cool.
Damn right you do.
Quesada, Daredevil.
Damn right you do.
What did you want to talk about?
I'm gonna start going into the creator section.
Oh yeah, let's prompt that next. Then let's talk about creators and artists and guests this year.
Yeah.
We'll start with that.
As much as I had large feelings about shopping, this I could say without a doubt, super large feelings about it. By far, one of the greatest year I had with interactions and creators.
Of course.
And it was a great group of people. And even before, I think I was a little underwhelmed with the names. Again, last year we had Jim Lee, we had Scotty Young for the first time. I was really hyped for the creators, and Hickman's huge and Silvestri's huge.
Awesome.
I didn't really feel that kick until I think I actually got there. One of the first people I really sat down and talked to. We're gonna point this book out right here. So,
do you want to bring it closer to the main camera? You can.
Main thing, just bring it.
Let's pick it up and show it to them.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. So you might recognize this art if you are a fan of the TV show The Boys from Amazon Prime. There were two main artists to that run. It's Derek Robinson and Russ Braun. Russ Braun did a lot of the back end stuff. A very talented artist. He's phenomenal. I want to say about 2 years ago, he showed up to his first Terrificon. I talked to him a little bit. Garth Ennis was that year, so we BS about the show and different stuff. And on the last day, I was so impressed with how nice he was and how good of an artist he is. I brought him a blank cover of Scorched, the Spawn team series. And I'm like, can you draw Spawn versus Homelander? And he's like, absolutely. Give me to the rest of the day. And I came back and it was an amazing piece. He signed it. I'm like, oh, do you mind if I press it in for CGC? He's like, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. So I got that at 9/8. It's sitting over my bed somewhere.
It's awesome.
Then I'm like, I'm going to go see him again at New York Comic Con. And then he was sick. I'm like, I'm not going to see Russ Braun for a while. Little do I know, he shows up at Terrificon. So I get this Batman book. And for those who know the horror series Terrifier, or
it just said, what the fuck? I just noticed that's Art the Clown. Or
not the Joker.
So-
It's not the Joker.
if you know anything about Terrifier, David Howard Thornton, the guy who plays Art the Clown, is a huge DC fan. And his dream is to play the Joker. He's done the Joker in fan films. So I thought it makes way too much sense when I put Art the Clown versus Batman. And Russ Braun worked on Batman Venom. He did, I think, a couple covers, maybe a little bit of the interior. So I'm like, hey, do you mind drawing this? And he's like, yeah, again, give me a day. And he whips out this masterpiece, and I think it's perfect.
It's awesome.
It's great. It's just the right terrifying look for Art. He has a little hat. He has an insane nose. It's everything you want out of Art. I mean, it's great. And Batman's Batman. And again, I showed up. I talked to him, and I'm like, hey, I know I make you draw stupid stuff. And then he's like, oh my god, yeah.
And he remembered the
Yeah,
Spawn and Homelander.
So it was nice to sit down and talk to him and do that stuff with him.
Like catch up with old friend.
Yeah. So
Speaking of custom covering and art, did you follow up about that other thing?
oh, the other custom cover?
Yeah, the other custom cover.
That's also on my list. Funny enough, I got a DM as we started this, and I'm waiting to look at it. But
Did you really?
Yeah.
Ah,
He
that's
posted on Instagram. I loved it. I liked the picture. I saved it. Whatever. And there's a guy there who's in like a 4-man booth for it's in between like the artist alley and before like all like the stores and stuff.
Okay.
This guy was doing his own artwork, and he's worked with some companies, and he's giving out covers for all alternates and stuff.
Talk about John.
So it's
Yeah.
I might butcher his last name, but it's John Brugman. I really hope I'm saying his last name right. John Brugman.
Give him a shout. Give him a shout.
Bruggman.
What's he on Instagram?
I follow him on Instagram. He does a lot of great stuff, a lot of like horror stuff, a lot of like darker. I have a Stone Cold book that he did. It was great.
WWE.
What?
Um, So I bought a couple books from him, and I'm like, hey, like, would you down to do this commission stuff? So we settled on he's going to make me the drummer from the original drummer from Slipknot, Joey Jordison, he's going to do on the cover of Batman Dark Knight Metal.
So that would be so cool.
So he actually he started working on it. He posted on his Instagram. I'm going to look at it. He sent me a DM, so I'm going to go look at this now while you guys are talking still. But yeah, and it's the amount of indie stuff that's there.
It was so dumb. I thought it was a different creator you were working with who has your cover.
No, he's doing that. Oh, and there's another one. There's three creators who have my books. Well, that's a lot. Technically, that Dark Knight Metal, he had the cover. I'm like, can I just buy it? He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, who?
So that's what I'm working on now. The last thing that I have, last year when we saw Mark Bagley, I had a blank cover of the new Ultimate Spider-Man series, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1. And I'm like, how fitting would it be if I got Mark Bagley to draw on this cover? So he gives me a head. I walk up. I'm like, hey, can I get like a headshot of Spider-Man? He's like, yeah, sure. So this great Spider-Man headshot, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I should get this colored by someone, but who? Like, I don't know. So I sit on it for a year, and I get there and I look at the prices of the one and only Scott Hanna, and I'm like, this man could definitely color this shit in right now. So
He's a good inker, good artist.
I
too.
talked to him. He's super nice. I like surprisingly nice. He's a great guy. It's like, yeah, like whatever. He's charged me for whatever. I gave him the book. And then fast forward, it is the last day, and we had to run out to do some other stuff. And on the way home, we're probably 30 minutes away. Like we already left. I'm like, oh fuck, Scott Hanna has my book, and we are freaking out in the car. And like, we're not going to turn back quite yet, but I'm like, let me DM on Instagram. So, but
Did he
Scott
ever back
Hanna-
to you?
Yeah. So, well,
good.
kind of.
Oh.
I had to mess him on Facebook. Thank God. It's got, if someone could, I don't know if Scott Hanna's watching or if someone's attached to this. Thank you, Scott Hanna, for getting back to me on Facebook. Like, I had to message him on Facebook, copy and paste. I'm like, hey, I had to run on Sunday.
Yeah, he was
You
supposed to
tip it
pick
out.
He was supposed to pick it up Sunday. and
Well, no, he never even gave you the
Never came
message,
back.
right? He never gave you the message that it was ready.
Well, so yeah, I gave him my phone number. Well, with that being said, I was a little nervous talking to him, so I wrote like 3
Look.
digits slash and then 2 digits slash 1 digit slash 4 digit slash.
8, 6, 7, 5,
Yeah.
3, 0, 9.
So I messed up the numbers, and that got me really afraid that he just didn't read it right. Well, I mean, like I wrote it wrong. It's not like I wrote it right or anything, but I just thought it was so funny that I'm like freaking out in the car. I'm like, Scott, please, no. Yeah. So Scott Hanna, I'm gonna have a Ultimate Spider-Man 1.
Oh, Barton just
Uh,
looked up John's stuff. Said his horror pieces are sick.
Oh my, yeah, and he just posted on his Instagram story what's going to be my book. So
Barton, I hope you come down to the oh my god, I hope you come down to the Pev Gamer channel, bro. We gotta talk. We gotta talk.
And also check us out on Comic Convo Express as well.
He's watching us live on Comic Con Express right now.
Both shows, the Comic Convo Express show and the Between the Panels.
Yeah,
And that's
we're-
when we're on.
That's our other live show we do on
That's
here.
our shows.
Send the gaming channel, absolutely.
So yeah, that's. I mean, I think I met one independent writer.
Oh, does my shout out not work? That's the channel name. That's my username for everything.
His name. I'm gonna give him a shout real quick though.
Oh,
Paul Thayer. Paul Thayer. He pulled us up while we were walking shopping around, and he was selling us. He was one of those independent creators who.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
very good talker. He was a good salesman and everything. And but he was showing me his stuff what he had, and it was a book that I ended up buying called Project Neosis. I have the thing he gave us to get into him. Project Neosis. I ended up buying the trade for it. I'm gonna check it out. And I'll
This
do
is
review on
an
it.
independent comic book.
Yes, that he put out. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And he has volume 2 that's coming out as well. So I picked up volume 1 before volume 2 and see if I like it. I'm gonna order the volume 2. So
I need to ask you about that. Did you end up reading it?
Not yet.
No.
It's in my list, and but I'm looking forward to read because I love the artwork. If you see the artwork, it's just very eye catching. Like,
Gives me very much Invincible vibes.
yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
feeling.
yeah.
So just to check it out, but it's good that I was very happy to like give him the money and got the book.
I
and
can't
was
wait
very
for
happy.
you to read that book and to come back on the show and be like, "Oh, it was really good," or
What future Comic Convo Express episode or between the panels? I will. If I love it, I'm gonna give him more props to it.
Yeah.
But I'm giving him props anyway because I did like what I saw, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So.
absolutely good.
Another one that I picked up and I had nothing. I just finished reading it today. We went to see Scott Collins, first time there at Terrificon. Great artist, nice guy. He was signing books. He was charging books for the Flash book because he did a run on the Flash. And lucky for me, I had like 5 books. None of them were the Flash. They were all Marvel books that he did. I love his artwork. And I brought it to him. I said, all right, so how much is for all these books? Because I figure 5, maybe like whatever money.
Yeah.
And he was they're not flat. I was only charging for the Flash books. Everything else is free, and I was like, whoa, like really? It's like I'm sorry I didn't have any Flash books. I never got into Flash. So he kind of like turned it back on me. He goes, hey, well, if you never read the Flash, but you're curious about the Flash, I would recommend this book, and it's right over here. I'm gonna pull it up for you real quick, you guys. It's called Patria with an apostrophe in the front of it. And I bought this book because it was also written by James Robinson. And I knew James Robinson when he worked on Marvel and his stuff as well. So it was no surprise that I would love to see these two together. And they worked together during the Flash run. So he said, if I like this story, this was, it was independent from them. that would probably jump onto the Flash and like their story, his way of storytelling. So I took it, I bought it. I was like, all right, you know, you sign my book, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna give this book a try. And if it gets me into the Flash, it's your fault. So I just finished reading it today. I decided to check it out. It looks really good. The artwork is Scott Collins. It was like reading a horror story. And I was like, whoa. Like I'm the only horror stuff I read is the stuff you get. Like, but this was like a different take on a horror genre. Serial killers and little kids getting, you know, it was just it was really well. But I also liked how the victim could be turned into a hero after she dies and everything becomes something more. And I just loved it. Now I'm looking forward to the next volume as well as I'm going to pick up the next Flash issue. So Scott Collins, is your fault for me jumping into DC, but I am looking forward to reading it. I'm very glad I bought it. And again, books that I'm not comfortable that I've never read before. I'm always taking chances to try something new, something independent, something different. And again, these two guys, Collins and I forgot his name. Thayer. Paul
Is
Thayer.
that book like something is killing the children?
Yes, there was a serial called Jeremy Jones. He was scared. The way Collins drew him, very scary. He had the special knife that he was killing kids, and he was a serial killer he was a mental escapee.
Yeah.
And went after certain families, and like it was all blood and gore. So this is why you would like it. But to stop him, it had to be one of his victims. And it was you have to read the book. I highly recommend it. It was really good. So hands down, Patra. Patra with an apostrophe in front of the P. So Scott Collins, he's the man.
I'm also gonna out Barton right now. He's also a Marvel Rival fan. So
yeah, good. There you go. They gotta go. You definitely gotta go to Pep Gamer.
yeah, he said he's gonna talk to me about Rivals. That'll be fun.
So I will transition to this from horror books. One of the big names that he was like the last name I was like, oh well, this is gonna be really exciting to meet him. Again, might butcher the last name. Brian Polito.
Polito, yes, Brian Polito, the creator of Evil Ernie.
Yeah, so he has a bunch of work that there was a lot that I wasn't necessarily familiar with.
Yeah.
But then I looked into it, and there was a lot of stuff that I did know. He did a lot of licensed horror books. Friday the 13th, Chucky, Texas Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of books that I wouldn't necessarily think like, oh yeah, it could just be anyone writing these. And it's the same guy for a lot of these. I was very surprised because a lot of the ones I like. So I go with I think, again, a couple books. I said I probably talked to him for 3-4 minutes. It wasn't a long conversation, but long enough from, hey, just meeting this guy. And I got to pick his mind about doing all these like horror books.
I'm sorry, Barton immediately clocked that name. He said Lady Death. I read that for reasons. It's all right, Barton. I'm not reading Lady Death for the plot either.
From Chaos Comics.
It's the original Marvel Rivals, damn it.
That's the Gooner skin I need, damn it.
The Goon is haunting.
The Goon haunts you.
But me and Brian probably sat there in like a couple minutes, and I picked his mind, and he talked about how writing these horror books came easy to him. It's like how Anthony Hopkins could step right into playing what's the Silence of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he could step right into the role of Hannibal Lecter.
I almost said, "Here's Johnny."
It's like
wrong movie.
It's like being able to step in and out of that mindset. He was telling me about that. He loves doing it. He loves going in and writing horror books, and he could turn it on and off. And I thought that was so fascinating. And I talked about who's hard to write, who's easy to write, what are you looking for in books. And it was one of the most enjoyable conversations I've had with a writer. Period.
I was very pushy to go meet him because I liked him, and sure enough.
Very nice guy.
I did hold off to wait till there was no line so I could ask questions. And again, if you see someone that, again, maybe not the biggest names, but again, maybe a good sized name, again, like Russ Braun, go and maybe sit in the corner, maybe wait for them to get a slow line. Maybe wait till there's no line. Go right there and ask questions. Go talk to them. Go be friends. Go be nice.
I got a funny story. Roberto Ramos.
Oh yeah,
Roberto Ramos is
artist for this year. Roberto Ramos,
dude, stay in one spot.
I met him twice before this year, and very quiet. I never got a chance to talk to him at the time because either he has his assistants taking care of everything, so you talk to them. You don't get to talk to me. He'll say thank you for reading this book and he'll sign, and that's it. I also heard at the time he didn't like to shake hands or anything like that. I guess understandably because of the pandemic, but he was very secluded
Yeah.
Hispanic man. So this year, I got into his line before he was eating and he was also drawing at the same time. He was sitting there, but he wasn't starting the signatures until a certain time. It was 5 o'clock at the time. And I decided, okay, I only got like 20 minutes. I'm gonna stay on this line. I start the line. First person ready to meet the guy. And I'm standing there and I'm just listening to him talk to his assistant, and he starts singing. And there was a song that I heard on like one of the old sitcom shows. So when when the assistant told me, "Hey, stop doing that," and he stopped, I jumped in and started singing. And he looks at me and he points at me and says, "See, they like this. They like it." And it's so funny. I think after that moment, I know I like, okay, I'm gonna get to talk to this guy. So 20 minutes later, got in the line, got to meet him, got to put my books in the line. He signs it. We didn't shake his hands or anything like that. I knew not to put on my hand or anything like that, but I just started talking to him in Spanish. Because I'm Puerto Rican. So he responds to me, he's talking back and forth in Spanish, and I'm sitting there going, oh my God, like this guy, there's a wall that just broke that now I can talk to him now. So I was very happy, okay, thank you, appreciate it, keep doing a good job and everything. And I walked away. Throughout the whole weekend, after I met him on Friday, the whole weekend I kept bumping into him walking the aisles towards the front of Terrificon. Like he was trying to going towards his booth.
Like a bathroom,
and I was going
yeah.
like either towards the other booths over there, and I kept bumping into him. Now, if you meet Humberto Ramos during that weekend, he wears jerseys with the red color themed jerseys. Basketball, bowling, football, and it always has his name Ramos on it. It's all decorated. It looks like it's handcrafted. And I remember looking at the first day and say, "Hey, that was a cool, cool shirt in Spanish." But then the next day he wore a different kind of jersey. So I was, "Hey, Alberto, ¿cómo está? How you doing?" He's talking back to me and everything. And I'm saying, "Hey, I love your shirt. Where do you get it?" He's telling me he has a friend who does it, and he's professional. I said, "Dude, I would buy that off you. I would wear it. I'll rock it with the Ramos, even though it's not my last name." So he's laughing at me, and he goes, and he actually, as he's walking away from me, he gives me dab. And I thought I broke another bear. It's like, dude, like, no, he's cool like that. And the third time I met him again, bumped into him again. We're walking in the same direction. I'm talking to him like I'm his best friend. He's talking back to me in Spanish.
Grandpa Chewy, thank you so much for ringing the Chewy, welcome on in, everybody. What were you playing, Chewy? Anything good? I'm sorry. Continue your story about Humberto Ramos.
So even Anthony, who was behind us, and he almost got lost trying to find me, but he remembered seeing me walk with him, like he knows, like these two act like we know each other for years, and it's so impressive that he would welcome me. That's all. Alberto, another shout.
I'm sorry, Skittles, Sabretooth. What's going on?
Wait, Skittles, Sabretooth?
No. There's one person named Skittles, and then there's another person named Sabretooth.
Okay, Skittles, name, respect. Sabretooth, watch out for Logan.
All right.
She's not even going to get that reference because she doesn't read the comic. So that's pretty funny.
Wait. Oh. She names herself Sabretooth. I have no idea what.
Well, have you ever heard of a saber-toothed tiger? You vault.
So why didn't she throw in tiger? Now would it never?
Because read comic books.
She lost 2 points.
Wrong podcast.
Wrong. Oh goodness. So there's that. And,
so actually, Humberto Ramos, I met him right after you as well.
Yes, I kept telling you to get in line.
I did. I waited until he had no line. It worked out really well.
Did he talk to you?
So yes. So here, I'll tell you the story. So I have 2 issues of the newest volume of Fantastic Four. I have both variants of issue 1. Mm-hmm. So one is a classic homage cover. The other one is this special drawing of the Invisible Woman. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So his assistant handles everything, like you said.
Yes.
So I didn't even get to talk to him at first. The assistant's like, "How many books?" I'm like, 2, please. So he's like, "Okay, whatever. Give me the money." They start opening out the book and stuff like that. Humberto signs the homage cover with no problems, and then he looks at the Invisible Woman cover and he's like, "I know this artist. Where did you get this?" I'm like, "Oh, I got it at the comic book store that I go to down in wherever," and it's like, I know this artist. I can always tell it's him by the way he draws hair. I was like, really? So then the assistant is like, "Can we open the book?" I was like, yeah, do what you want. And Humberto sees it. He's like, that's the one. He pulls out his phone and pulls up his Instagram and he's like, "Look how this guy draws hair on women." And I'm like, yeah, no, he does a really good job. Like it's a very realistic drawing.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, you should follow him.
You know who the artist was?
I forget the name off rip, but
Look
Roberto,
into that.
I wrote it down because Roberto told me to follow the person.
Okay.
But he was like, yeah, you could really follow him. Like, he does a lot of really good. I've seen him did one cover of Silver Sable, I think he said. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And that was our whole conversation. He was just so infatuated with my book.
Dude,
I was like, that's cool.
when an artist recommends you to follow another
When the
artist,
artist, that means they're good.
that's
Especially
high
with Roberto
top.
Ramos.
Yeah,
Like, he's a
no
great
joke, too.
artist.
So,
So I had to tell that story.
no,
That
that's a
was
good
awesome.
story. Love it.
Meeting, who did we meet together? That was really, really nice.
I have Paul Miotti written down for my sake, but there's a couple people just super nice. Sadly, Al Mingram got hit right after we left with Super Stack.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't get to meet him?
No, I meant Al. It was right after us.
Yeah.
Poor Al
Someone with the
Mingram.
short box came up and said, hello.
I do want to say this: if you are going to get someone to sign a bunch of stuff, or get someone to sign something that's signed already, don't be an asshole to him. Poor Al Mingram was sandwiched in between. If we were in the middle, it was someone before us and someone after us. We're both a little rude to Al. But someone had a Funko Pop. I want to say it was Spider-Man, something like that.
It was the, you know what it was? It was the vintage color swap Spider-Man. I remember because he was in front of us. He was talking to us, trying to show off his collection like he had something big and bad. Like,
so this guy had the Spider-Man Pop, a bunch of signatures on it. Like, definitely something he works for. It's cool. And then he gives Al the money, gives the Funko Pop to Al. Al signs it. Then he goes, "But you didn't sign in the right place."
oh
Fuck
my
me, you didn't sign in the right place. You didn't tell him.
You didn't tell him. Exactly.
Be loud. Point. And he made this. Made a poor Al Mingram sign it twice. And like, then it was awesome. I'm like, "Hey Al, how you doing?" And he's like, "I'm good." And then this guy with the short box comes. He's like, "Hey Al, you got free time?"
Oh my God. Yeah. That was ridiculous.
These guys are not there for. They're there
They're
for.
not there for the load of content.
I'm just
They're
going
trying
to say
flip
it. I'm going to say it right off the rip, too. I know it's a little off topic, but it's kind of on topic, right? There is such thing as con etiquette, and not a lot of people have it, and it makes me angry. I kind of want to write a book on it, honestly speaking, at this point. Like, oh, what's going on, Beta? Came in
Beta.
on the raid. I was playing Rivals. Are you having fun? Are you winning, son? Are you winning,
Are
son?
you gooning some?
He's on the side.
So here's the
He
thing.
brought a short box. LMAO brought. Oh my God! Listen,
Oh, he got a
Brian,
story.
so many people bring short boxes to Terrificon. It's a little scary. You know, it's a little. It's a like we don't do short boxes. We have a huge collection between the three of us that we kind of share.
Yeah.
And not once have we brought a long box for
I think the
anything.
biggest I ever bought was a tote bag, but that was because it was New York Comic Con and a lot of people
for-
there.
You're really selling
not
those
for
for
one
show.
person.
Right, it wasn't for
Yeah,
one
it wasn't,
person,
that's
and it's
true.
not, I'm not getting my whole series just for one person to sign. It was like maybe like 2 or 3 issues for this person, 2, 3 issues for
Yeah.
this person, and they added up. This year was a backpack, which is very proud of myself. You know, limited.
Although you definitely have brought that tote bag over to creators, and they've gone, "Oh God!" And you have.
I know.
Yeah, I only have
Like,
one.
I've only
There's
got
one
these
for
2.
you.
Here you go. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing you a
I-
short box. No way.
I will say, like, hey, the grind's a grind. If you want to, you're getting books signed to go sell, go whatever.
Mhm.
It does
Sure,
suck,
but that's
though.
why CGC exists
Yeah,
now.
it-
Like realistically,
But again, there are times where almost a huge name for it, I'll bring like 8, 10, maybe 12 books. I think
Minimum, yeah.
I think I did that for Clayton Crane. I went to New York Comic Con with the mindset that I'm going to meet him.
Mhm.
I think I brought 8 to 10 books, and no intention of selling any of these. I had random books in there like Spider-Man City at War #5. It was
that's
even
a
number
good
1.
cover though.
I had Deadpool 23 from like volume 3 or 4 they did. It's just some books that I want, and it sucks. Again, it's definitely become I need to get this book signed and flipped.
Yeah.
So now that
That's
the normal
tell you-
collector's paying $30 an autograph,
Right.
and I want to meet Clayton Crane, I want to get these books signed from me. It does suck. And I don't blame the artists or the writers. I blame the people who are getting 30 books of Ultimate Spider-Man #1 signed by Jonathan Hickman.
So you know what's funny? When we met Hickman, I did give him multiple issues of Spider-Man 1, but I had different variants because I bought the variant that meant something to me, right? Sure, I had original 1. He signed that. Well, I want to get that one pressed. But I also got him to sign the Ben Reilly cover because I love Scarlet Spider. I had him get the black suit cover because the black suit Spider-Man is my favorite costume, and I got him to sign Spider-Man 209 because that's my favorite non-Peter Parker Spider-Man. Those had meaning to me. Will I get some of those books pressed? Yes. Will I sell any of those books? Hell no. I love those books.
Look, they mean,
You know?
the
They mean
story
something to
hits
me.
us, the artwork hits
It's us,
us,
yeah.
and
So it's different for us.
you keep those books, you keep them in, preserving everything in your bag of boards, and then when you get a chance to meet the creators and you bring it to them and have them autograph them, and you have a moment where you get to talk to them, and it stays with you.
It does.
And
Absolutely.
it's not like you get that moment, then you get to sell the book and make money on it. No, it's not like that. That moment stays with you with the book, that the story that you got into that got you into the series. And you take it back home, you put it in your collection, you hang it up or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
But it's there for display purpose only, unless you want to reread it, and that's pretty cool as well.
And no disrespect to those who sell because the grind is the grind. But like, don't ruin it for everybody else, you know?
Exactly.
Maybe leave a couple of those Spider-Man 300s at home. That's all I'm saying.
But I do like the new rule where
Martin-
you're only allowed to sign 10 books, and then you have to start in the back of the line. I
Well,
like
it
that.
depends on who.
Yeah, Al
who-
Milgren,
yeah.
I think he was being nice, and
Yeah.
he'll do it. But like, I was like,
Barton says, I love all my signed books. I'm going to flex on them and on my wall, as you should, my friend.
Yeah, that's the way to.
that's the way to do it.
That is the way to do it.
I'm going to follow up on you guys with Al Milgren because I told the story twice, one to Al Milgren and one to Jim Starlin. And I do have a message for you from both of them. which is
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. There's,
All right, so I
what
saw
did you
Al
do?
Milgren first on Friday, and I saw Jim Starlin the next day on Saturday. Al Milgren, funny guy. If you ever meet him, he is hilarious. I mean, just watch him argue with other creators at his booth is funny as hell, entertaining. If he's picking on you, it's just funny. He was picking on me. I bought the. All right, let me go back. If you saw this recent short that we put out there for Father's Day, he
The
got me
Thanos, yes.
the Thanos #1 issue that I was missing for a long time. I got it, loved it.
bought that
Reread
full
the whole
set.
series, loved it. But when I heard that Milgram and Starlin were going to be at Terrificon, I decided to get them double signed on that one book. So I went to Milgram first. I knew he was the inker on it, and I brought it to him. And as I showed it to him, I wanted him to know this book was special, what my son did. So he heard my story. And he cracked some funny jokes about it, but he thought it was pretty good. He said, "Your son's a keeper. He's a good guy. Don't lose."
What are we going to do? Sell me?
Yeah, he was like,
on.
he was basically saying,
I'm still.
"That's a good son. You treat him good. He's gonna go far in this world." So that was pretty cool. And I was like, "Yeah, funny guy."
Fast forward to Jim Starlin.
So then the very next day, Jim Starlin, I got into his line early. He wasn't there yet, and then he shows up, and it was like when he showed up to the booth, it was like one of those rock star entrances. To me, it was because he just showed up in the middle of the crowd.
That sounds like
You
him.
know, the way he was dressed, black shirt and everything. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is cool." He comes in, he starts doing our autographs, and he's selling his picture and everything. So I give him the books for him to sign. I showed him about that, and I told him the exact same story. So he's listened to me intently, and then he goes, "So you have two sons?" And I go, "Yeah, this is the one that he got. This is my oldest one, the one that got me." He goes, "He's a keeper." He said the same thing I got on Miller. That's a keeper. The young one,
I'm a
not so
keeper, y'all.
much. And I was like, "You tell him that, not so much."
Damn it, Jim.
And I was rolling and got to take a picture with Jim Starlin. Al Milgren didn't because it was he would just crack me up to the point that I did not look good in the picture. But it was just fun to get them to sign the book, and they know that the books mean a lot to me, and the signatures as well. So I'm very honored to meet both of them and know them. I did this like multiple times. I met both of them, but this one was special this year. So thank you so much.
I will say having positive interactions at conventions is so big.
Oh, big time.
And you build relationships with artists and creators. You go often again.
And even people that you just meet in line. Like there was a guy who watches this channel who recognized us, and we introduced him to our channel last year. Like that was really cool.
Like one of the big examples I tell, like even like my friends when I go to these conventions. Last year, and even the year before, a former writer, and I think he was an editor for Marvel's the sister company, DG Chitchester.
He was a writer.
Right, but he was also
Daredevil.
he was the editor for what was the Marvel sister company for that short period of time. He was an editor for it.
He was an editor.
They put him there for it. Like this is a big name. He's a relatively big deal, and me and my dad are just walking down one of the aisles. He pulls us to the side. He's like, "How you guys doing? How you guys like the show?"
Yes.
And I don't know what to do. I just met this guy 20 minutes ago. I was in his line alone, and now he's talking to my dad like
we were best
yeah.
friends. And I met him years before that. He signed my books. We talked like crazy and everything. Cool, dude. But we were walking by him because we were trying to get to somewhere else. And he managed to stop us, to get my attention, say, "Hi, how you doing?" I went up to him, talking to him like, we haven't seen each other in a long time. How you been? We're joking around. This one's like,
Yeah,
oh my God, you're hanging out with T.G. Chichester.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. How does he know you?
I know it's hilarious.
It was a crazy interaction, and I'm gonna have to tell the story.
Uh-oh.
So we were eating at the convention center, right? There's a restaurant right below us, right? And
Here we go, Scotty Young.
so we can see Scotty Young walk by our table. Peter goes, "Wait, is that Scotty Young?"
I'd like to start with this.
Yeah.
Last year, Scotty Young's line was huge. Like,
Yeah.
it had no right
Huge.
being as huge
So
as it is,
big.
but he's a hot, he's a hot writer. I'm a hot artist, and his stuff's amazing. I love it. And every time I'd see him this year, I'm like, oh my God, Scotty Young's walking past. He'll walk by back to his table and he's taking a lot of breaks as he deserves.
Yeah.
And again, we're at this restaurant. I see him walk by. I'm like, hey, it's Scotty Young.
So naturally, I'm like, "Is it Scotty Young?" When he goes to the bathroom, I'm like, "All right, you know what? I have the urge to pee." So I got up, I go in, and thank God I gave him a head start. Otherwise, he was gonna get caught.
We're making
So-
fun at the table.
Face to face.
I'm going into the bathroom, and he is, thank God, washing his hands. So before I go anywhere, I'm like, "Sir, I'm sorry to bother you. Are you Scotty Young?" He goes, "Yeah, I am." I'm like, "Oh, I love your work." He was like, "Oh, thanks, man." He just walked out. It was great.
He was weirded out. A fan just got me in the back.
Poor Scotty.
Poor Scotty.
He's a funny.
I'm traumatized, Scotty.
Scotty gets props.
No, he's such a nice.
I love his alternate
I love his
covers
work.
that he did.
Yeah, so even another big reason to go to conventions is you'll never know what you'll find. This was absolute Batman number
Don't
one.
bend it and fix it.
This is absolute Batman number one. Scotty Young alternate cover.
Thank you, Saber.
They only made a certain number of books for this,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all online, and they sold out immediately.
Yeah.
So they pulled some off to the side, like, all right, we'll sell these at conventions only.
Well, they also said that his cover of Absolute Batman 1 had a publication issue as well.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. There was issues that went on with us, so again, it's super limited, super rare. And he was at the booth, and again, it was one per customer. They were very strict on that.
Yeah.
Again, it's another reason another incentive to go see your favorite artist. You'll never know what you'll find.
Yeah, sometimes cons have like really cool exclusive things. Like even Terrificon, as small as it is, and it's only been around for 10 years, you can get some really cool exclusives.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So kind of different note. Again, still talking about interactions with creators.
Yeah.
I took my girlfriend to her first comic convention. So she's been to Connecticut Horror Fest. Again, it was a horror convention.
Which we've been to that one too. That
Yeah,
was
that's a
lot of fun.
great
Yeah.
show. Can't recommend it enough. She's been to Connecticon this year, which is again predominantly anime stuff.
That one was
And
fun too.
This was the first time where it was comic books
Centric.
that's it.
Yeah.
And she's not a huge comic book fan, but she likes the movies. She has
She
a
dabbles.
yeah. She dabbles. She's not out of the loop, but she's not honestly in it either. So she has a one of the more recent. Well, not necessarily. It's like mid 2000s, late 2000s Harley Quinn comics. And it's a trade. So
It's the new 52. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, hey, like you got it. Like the writer and the artist is there. The Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. And I've met them twice. Like, I always have stuff for Palmiotti. They're great people. And again, every time I met them, they've been absolute pleasures. Even the last time I met them at Terrificon, they were sick. They were still doing books, and I have so much respect for them. So I tell my girlfriend, like, hey, let's go. Let's go say hi. And we're waiting in line. She's definitely a little nervous. So I'm like, I'll go with you. We'll go at the same time, but I'll go in front of you. So I say hi to both of them. They're very, very preppy. They're very nice. And I start talking to Jimmy, and I'm talking to Jimmy. I had Friday the 13th books for him, and I had Spawn. We're talking about like it was funny. It was nudity in comics, which he talked all about. Image has pretty much an open policy, just no sex, which is pretty funny.
You gotta have
Well,
tits
tell me-
out, no sex. Yeah.
Full nudity, just no sex, which is hilarious. And he's talking about working with Todd, and again working with horror stuff. And through this, I'm kind of just peeking over at my girlfriend. She's with Amanda. And they're going back and forth, and they're talking about how the book's like well loved because that book has been through a lot, and my girlfriend read it over and over and over again. And it was so sweet. And it took Amanda a little bit to sign the book just because she was talking to my girlfriend so much. And then I look over right after Jimmy signed my books, and I'm waiting to dry. And I look over and I see Amanda Connors. To Haley, Amanda Connors, and a big heart. And she had a big heart at the end. And I'm like, that's so unbelievably sweet that she didn't need to do. Again, I can't stress Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, sweetest people in the world. Again, go visit them. Go show them your love. Don't be weird, please.
Yeah, please don't be.
I mean,
They're
them.
great, though.
Jimmy's always talking because he's always interactive. Amanda's usually, I think the past couple times I've seen her, she was always sketching because she's also
Yeah,
so she
absolutely.
doesn't barely talk.
And-
This was the first year she wasn't doing sketches and she was communicating with everybody, and we loved it. It was like we love her too. And Jimmy, both of you. She managed to talk to Mama Pev. He
Yeah.
stole the show on me again. They
As
decided to have a
always.
conversation because they were just at San Diego Comic-Con weeks before.
Right.
And they would tell me how much fun they had and how the travel was.
We got to have her on the show one day.
We will
to
one
talk
day. We
about
will.
creators.
But she had a long conversation with her because I guess Mom Pet wants to go to San Diego one year with us, take us up there,
That'd be cool.
and they were giving us advice what to look forward to, what the hotels to look forward to, and back and forth. It was a long time, and I was just listening. And Jimmy jumped in, gave us
Which
tips,
I
and it was
will. I'll
awesome.
make a deal with you guys on the Twitch live. If we can get to 50 followers, we will get Mama Pev on an episode.
Yeah.
Mama Pev.
Another
Another incident we had. I met Joe Jusko. Now, to me, this is like a 3 convention issue because the first time I met him, I had him sign my books, and I noticed he was selling these. I'll pull this up for you so you can get a good, better look at it. These are like if you buy an old comic book, they would have these in the corner with variable superheroes in the corner that says Marvel, and they tell you the price as well and all that stuff. He had like a long table full of all the superheroes, each one individual, and he was selling them. And at the time, I got him to autograph my books. I didn't have money to get these, and I told him maybe I'll come back the next day and I'll buy one of these. So I ended up going home, got some money, came back the very next day, and I guess he didn't make it that Sunday. He didn't show up that Sunday, so I missed him at Terrificon that year. New York Comic Con was his next occurrence. I knew I could get him. I said I was going to buy one of these. I only had one book from the sign in New York. I ran into him. I got him the book, and I said, "Hey, where are your little poster pictures?" He said he didn't bring them for New York because he wasn't expected to sell them, but he does like to sell them in Terrificon.
That's
so
another.
Are you coming back? He goes, "Yes." I was like, "When you come back, I'm getting it." The following year, he didn't show up at Terrificon. He wasn't even asked. I guess Mitch, it's your fault, but we love you anyway. So I waited patiently. This year, he was coming back. I said, I'm getting one of these. And
You were hovering over his table.
I was hovering on the table, gave him a book real quick, and I said, I want this one, Spider-Man. Black costume Spider-Man. I'm going to put it on where I'm planning on hanging this. It's going to be on the outside of my door of my comic cave, which we'll talk about one day. And it's going to decorate it. We'll see it next time when we come over there, give you a little tour. But I'm very appreciative that he signed this for me. He signed it right there. If you saw it on the picture, he signed it right there for me. So I was very appreciative of it. And Joe Jusko, you the man.
Oh, nice story. I like that. I had a question for both of you actually. It looks like you want to say something. Go ahead.
I'll let you do your question. I have a question after this for everyone. I think this
give us.
this is more of a wrapping up thing. Let's hear your question first.
Yeah, I'm about to say we have a lot still to talk about.
We're getting there.
Okay, all right.
What's your question?
Fudge. What was my question? Oh, all right. Favorite signature absent the actual writer and artist situation. What was the book that you were like, oh my god, I need to get this signed this year?
This year?
Yeah.
This year. Individual book or
like literally, if I came to you and said you can have one signature this year, what was that book?
I can answer that for everyone. It's Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man. Again, I know it's like whoa, but
I mean, I agree, but
there are some books I think that were towards the top of my list. Venom 14. It's a very interesting book. It's not necessarily nothing big happens, but it's an insane lineup. Scotty Young does interior. Clayton Crane does cover. Daniel A. writes. It is a crazy trio.
It's very stacked.
And the year before, I picked up a newsstand edition of that issue. And it is, you cannot find it anywhere. And the fact that I found it for not that expensive, but I could get it signed by at least one of the three, Scotty Young. that was towards the top of my list just for sake of how many people really have this. And I'm sorry, I'm going to walk back.
Yeah.
The number one book.
Yeah.
Keating because multiple signatures. Spawn 312
Oh,
has it's the I don't know what I think Spider-Man 900 has all the names of everyone who's worked on Spider-Man, artist, writer, inker, whoever.
You were collecting
And
creator signatures.
yeah, it's pretty much the hey, go, if you're going to conventions, get this one book signed by everybody. So Spawn does the same thing. Again, Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, a bunch of big names on this book. So
go Jim Lee on that.
yeah, so it started off as, hey, let me get like John Alexander, Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder, guys who I know I'm going to see. One more book, why not? And then I think it didn't get serious until last year. I didn't have enough books for Jim Lee, and I didn't think to bring an extra one.
Yeah. He had a 3-book limit for those who do not know.
And I just so happened to have Spawned 312 on me, and I'm like, Jim Lee's on here, and his small writing, but he's on here.
Yeah.
Shits and giggles, why not have him sign this? And on this book, I have some heavy hitters. Like, again, Jim Lee, Scott Snyder was huge now, Jonathan Glapton, and big names. So the fact that you get Jonathan Hickman and Mark Silvestri, that those are two huge names in comics, not just in Spawn.
Yeah.
So I think that's the top of my list for one single book I wanted to get signed.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
I just real quick. Barton says last year my number 1 was Wes Craig for Deadly Class. I don't know if I know Deadly Class. Do you?
I'm aware of the book. I've not read it.
I have not read
What
it.
is that under? DC, Marvel?
I'm not.
No, I think it's under Dynamite, isn't it?
Ooh, I don't know if I had
And do
seen
you
the
know
book.
which publisher has Deadly Class? Oh, Image. Oh,
Comics.
whoops.
That's why I don't know it.
I wasn't totally. Who do we know who writes that?
He said Wes Craig. And who was the artist or writer?
Yeah, do you happen to know, Martin?
The creative team?
Like I could see one of the issues in my head. Like
I feel like I can too. I don't know why I think Dynamite next to it though. Is that bad?
it was definitely independent.
Yeah,
We're on the right track.
I think for me, it wasn't about
But if you had to pick,
if I had to pick one that had to get signed,
Thanos won.
it was probably I was gonna say Thanos won. As
Rick Remender.
Rick Remender.
Oh, that's why.
Good writer.
Yeah.
We met him.
Yeah.
Good writer.
That's why.
I would also have to say it was
It's a good choice.
oh god, so many choices. Uncanny X-Men 251, the one where Wolverine's on the cross.
That
I had
was
that signed last year
awesome.
with Chris Claremont. This year I had to get Mark Sylvester and he got them both.
Which Chris Claremont's line was crazy even this year.
It was long. It was still long.
Oh
And
my
like,
God,
we
yeah.
explained that part why it was long. It was worth.
Oh my God, Mark Sylvester's line. We waited for you in that line for both of you guys.
Yes.
Mama Pev and myself. But he was so nice. He was so nice.
His wife was very energetic.
Oh my
I liked
God.
her. She was keeping us awake, keeping us like this. Is
So I
exciting.
didn't tell you guys this. I was waiting for this for the pod. I saw Mark Silvestri again in the bathroom at.
What's up with you? Are you eating?
He came to me this time. So I am in the.
Oh, you two hands. The toilet paper.
I'm in my Venom costume.
One hand.
And at this point, because I was getting sick that I couldn't see through the mask, I'm like, I'm going to take it off.
Okay.
So I had to wait for a stall, obviously, to get changed. So I'm waiting. People are coming through. I'm like, you go ahead because I'm just waiting for a stall. And out of nowhere, Mark Sylvester goes, are you waiting? I'm like, no. I'm waiting for a stall. And he goes, why would you have to wait around? You're Venom. I go, I know. Tough shit, right?
That's so funny.
Dude, he's tall.
He's so tall. Like, what the fudge,
I,
man?
I thought Jim Shooter was tall, but Sylvester's tall too. I was like,
Yeah, he's just such a sweetheart.
I got
He
connected
is.
with him too, so we'll show that too. But Sylvester, really nice guy. I was very, very honored to meet him and everything. I just felt like I don't know if he comes to Terrific like this type of time
Yeah.
a lot, but I just know we had to meet him and everything. So very grateful for meeting him.
I'm starting to realize I have a problem.
But while you guys, it was weird because that line was long and you were in that line. Like while you were in that line for my spot, I ended up going into that one aisle and I met Carl Soleil, Joel Jones, and I was trying to meet and Jeremy Adams, and I got those 3 signatures before I got into the line with you and took you guys' spot and everything. Soleil, I ended up meeting him. I met him before and everything. Great guy and everything. Mama Pez loves his work.
Yeah.
Not for comics though. She read his novels and she wanted to get the newest novel. It was called The Endless Vessel. So we had to make sure she didn't have that and we paid for it and everything. It was a really worth the story. Check it out. The Endless Vessel. Joelle Jones. I thought she was beautiful. I don't like to
Yeah.
I respect their talent, but she was very beautiful to stare at while she was drawing her because she had white, like silver white hair for a young woman, and older,
Hot.
yeah, kind of hot. And I remember when I went up to have
The
her,
woman is haunting.
I had I'm sorry, I had one book for her to sign, and I had her sign it. And I'm trying to talk to her and everything, make a moment. And I know she
Jones, yeah.
and I know she had an accent, so I was like, okay, so her name Joelle, because there's a double dot over the e. So I asked her, I was like, well, how do you pronounce your first name? So she goes, Joelle. Now, to me, Joelle, if you're Puerto Rican, it's a guy's name. So I was like, it's
Hispanic in
pronounced
general.
Joelle. He goes, yeah, because the double e, it makes it sound like an L. And it goes, oh,
It's
so
double L.
I mean, so I explained to her, it sounds like a boy's name. She goes, you just hear the full name. So I go, what is it? She says it with a French accent. It's like Joelle Mamalamanzi. All right, I might be saying it wrong, but she sounded, and it just like, wow, like that accent really. Thank God. So I thanked her and everything. She was real sweet and everything like that, and I just it was very captivating to watch. Then we moved over, and I met Jeremy Adams on the way to you guys. And Jeremy Adams,
Queen of Catwoman's good.
I bought Flash Gordon.
You did?
First issue, yes.
Oh wow.
And lucky for me, I got two of my books signed, double signed. One with him and Tom Derenick, which I'll talk about in a minute, and the other one was Will Conrad. But Jeremy Adams, as he's signing, I told him how much I like Flash Gordon. It felt like it was a sequel to the movie. And he cracks me up and he goes, yeah, I enjoyed that movie as well. It was really good. And I just wanted to bring that, to keep it going. It's been like 30 years or 40 years since that series continued. And he was very honored that he's doing it. And I'm very honored that he signed it. Then I brought it over to Tom Derenick for him to sign it. And, great guy, I met him before, real great guy. And he was making me laugh because he goes, when I was drawing this, the issue, I kept hearing the Flash Gordon theme song. So he's going, dun, 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 Flash. And I'm like, oh my God.
And the microphone's broken.
So we started singing it together. It was awesome. Will Conrad, we got to meet him. He also had an accent as well. I think he's Australian or Scottish. I did not get
Two very different places, Dad.
But he was telling me how Flash Gordon the series, because he knows I had the first issue. He said, did you ever read the original first issue? And I was like, this is the first issue. He goes, there's a 0. You got to go look for it. And I was like, I didn't even know that. I now have to look for it. He goes, he recommended one of the guys in the vendors to go. Yeah. They might have it, but it was sold out. If you have to read it off the trade. I was like, all right, thank you. So I appreciate him for saying me, send me in the right direction.
Yeah.
I did want to get to know him more, but he was real busy. So I got those double signed.
Speaking of comic book hunting,
go for it.
You want to talk about Thor?
All right. I don't know how this happened. I bought this years ago. Thor. It was Thor. I'm trying to remember the issue number. It was the first appearance of the New Warriors where they fought the Juggernaut. And don't know the issue. You'll probably edit it. You'll show it. I've been looking for it 2 years because I bought it and then it disappeared on my file many, many, many years ago. And I said I would look for it. And I noticed that no one seemed to have this issue. So while we were on Sunday, when we were looking for the vendors, I took Kev with me and I said, hey, let's go look for a book. I'm going to try to see if I can find some back issues. And the door is on top of the list. So we go to the first vendor and, we find a tea box and we're asking, hey, do you have this issue? He goes, ask me the Thor. So I go into one and Kev goes right next to me and kicks the other one. And I'm like, well, Thor, the older issues over here, it must be in your box. So the first, he sticks his finger in, and the first thing you see is the New Warrior the cover. And he pulls it out, and I was like, that's the issue. I was
first pull.
How did you do that in the one lucky shot? He goes, magic. That gamer. So I was like, dude,
I need to follow now.
I'm getting it.
Subscribe and find out later.
So, like I said, if there were vendors where you're finding back issues, you will find it. So I was very grateful for that.
I need to have a GoPro strapped to me 24/7 at these cons.
I was very lucky finding back.
I pull some great shit.
You go like this.
Some good shit.
Meeny, money, mo.
You want to tell them what I found you?
Oh, what did you find them?
Let's say not Spawn.
No, I found the alternate cover, but that's not what I'm thinking. What's the other Spawn thing I found you?
What did you find you?
Oh fuck!
This year? Yes.
The Bev was like, hey, like he was looking for stuff for me. Whatever we were all separate at this point. He comes back with this big ass box, and I'm like, what's in the box, man? He goes, it's your present, and it's Spawn the board game. In my and Bev looks at me and goes, yeah, I was talking to the guy. The guy says the story is complicated. I'm like, it's how McFarlane and Spawn. Of course, it's complicated. Probably doesn't make sense either. Just play, have fun, look at it. I'm like, that's insane.
Dude, that guy was so funny. He was like, "Oh, that was the last thing I grabbed this morning. Sorry, the plastic's a little ripped."
Yeah, the black was real,
Like-
but you talked them down on price for that, right?
Well, damn right. But then again, it was still sealed. It was just corner.
Yeah, it was never opened.
But oh my
But
god,
We're gonna
I
play that
was like,
game.
"What year is that from?" He's like, "I think 95." I'm like, "Yeah, the copyright says 95."
Oh,
Hilarious.
that is awesome.
So funny.
It's such a great time.
And I also met Greg Land. And the funny story there, he didn't say much to me this year because he was signing and drawing at the same time. But as I was in the line, I was fiddling when I had a fanny pack because I brought a lot of money, so I had to keep it close to my chest.
Yeah,
in case of
it's efficient.
But it was weird because
For
my money
real.
was a little tangled up in my wallet inside the fanny pack.
By the way, how do you feel that you've gotten to the level of dadhood that you have a fanny pack now?
At first, I was embarrassed. But when I needed to pull out the money to pay these artists and writers who were signing my books and well deserved, I felt it came in handy. And plus the fact that I'm losing weight, it actually blended in, made me look fat again, but in a normal good way. But I was fiddling with it.
It's you.
But I was
Efficiency, baby.
fiddling it, trying to pull out some money for it.
Those shorts are all that's missing for you, and your 50s will be perfect.
And Greg Land and his wife will both remember me by me repeating myself saying, "Hey, fanny packs. They're good for nothing sometimes." And he's laughing. He's telling me a story. He also used to wear a handy pack, and I listened to his story. And it was real nice.
Fanny
It's funny
pack, not
how,
embarrassing.
it's uncomfortable for men, but it's cool when you need it. And I think I needed
Martin, I feel you. It's a
He
necessity.
needed it as well, and it was just hilarious. His story was hilarious as well. His wife was real nice about it, and made us feel like we could be manly men to wear something like that. So it was really cool interaction there.
All right, do we want to get into the meats and potatoes, the final parts of the con? What we really want to talk about?
John Romita Jr. Yeah,
This man is I think I met him
Twice.
no, I met him
met him twice.
How many of you met?
you've met him 3 times with me alone.
Oh yeah, because we went to New York Comic
Yeah.
Con.
So,
okay,
yeah.
We met the first time, was it
Terrificon. Yep.
That had to be 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
Again, first time I meet him, both of us were super giddy about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is
This is royalty. Comic book royalty.
I don't think there's a bigger father-son duo in comic history.
Yeah,
John
so for
Romita,
those who might
John
not be
Romita.
as familiar, John Romita Sr. is one of the first men to work on The Amazing Spider-Man in terms of artwork.
This is
And Daredevil.
these
Right.
are the biggest and the biggest of the big. And then again, Senior was huge.
Senior was very
Junior's
big.
probably, I think, about the same level. I mean,
I
they're
agree.
both super legendary. I mean, you look at, I flipped some of the greatest issues ever, and there's going to be a Ramita on it. So
Mhm.
first time we meet him, it's one of the best things ever.
Wait, I'm so sorry. So just give a little bit more context. Our father has met Senior before he passed away.
Yes, I did.
So in turn, to follow up, John Romita Jr. also ended up working for Marvel, also started drawing Spider-Man, Daredevil. He's done some Batman too, right? If I'm not mistaken. He's been all over all this, right? Marvel and DC, yes. So I've met him twice now. They've met him 3 times.
Lines are long.
Lines are
Yeah,
very long
yes.
for John Romita. So I think what was you know what? You continue. I'm sorry.
So we meet him that first time, and again, it's magic. Again, he's just this like Italian dude from the Bronx. It's just he's there to have fun.
Mama Pops told the show last time we met her
Oh, you have his whole Superman
where
part? That's awesome. I'm sorry.
because she's Italian and he's Italian, they decided to bring up the Italianness in their conversation. Again, left out, but that was how they got along. And he
Don't
was-
be mad. Your wife just
It was
steals
not.
artists
but
from you.
that's good. It was good. It was good for her, not for me. But it was good that they were interacting and it was funny and you got to know the comfortability of talking to John Romita the person. So
Yeah, I think a year after, maybe or 2 years after, we meet him at New York Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
I think that was short. I don't remember anything of note happening, but again, he was with I think like Red Cross something. He was doing donations
for St. Jude's.
St. Jude's.
That's
Something
right.
just being a great person.
Yeah.
So
This
this year rolls around, and pretty early he's like, "We're doing a promotion. It's like
A meeting.
it's like a meet and greet.
Yep.
You get 10 books signed. You get 2 prints, and then you're entered into a raffle to get the original print."
And when we heard about this, it was like, well, I got 10 books to get signed, and it's gonna be a lot of money, and being in the lines and everything.
It's only $10 anyway.
Doing, this big promotion for a meet and greet, and I convinced everybody to say, "Hey, let's go do this." And Mel, Mama did all the legwork, but we ended up signing early as soon as it was
Shout out
on
Mama
the
Pev.
website on Terrificon. We got signed in, but we had to wait. We got the receipt and everything that we just had to wait until we go in with a ticket. And we had to wait. They signed us up for Saturday, the meet and greet. So come Saturday, we decide to go to the meet and greet. We're excited to meet them. These 2 tag along. It was awesome. All 4 of us got
Just
in.
for context too, it's John Romita Jr., his son, and his wife all setting up this large conference room.
And their dog.
And their dog
love
Coco.
that.
Yes. Shout out
Cute.
Coco.
John, keep it. No, I did not forget about the dog.
So the meet and greet is basically the first 30 people who signed up. They were going to be in this big conference room. He's going to host it. And the idea was he was going to give us these stuff. He was going to sign our books. He would call us one at a time. At the same time, everybody in the room could ask as much questions you like, and he was honest in answering them. We were asking a few questions, and he was really awesome. It was like it felt like a Kevin Smith kind of like a greet show where he, you get in line, you ask a question, he just jokes around with you.
Yeah.
But this time we're all surrounding him. And we're asking questions. He's literally answering and telling us stories and everything. And it was very intriguing, very entertaining at the same time, very knowledgeable to know this man.
Now, what was really nice about this too is not only could anyone just kind of talk to him and ask questions, there is this super large conference table with easily 40, 50 people in this room surrounding John Romita Jr.
Yes.
And nobody's interrupting each other. No one's rude. No one's crowding him. It was really like, when you think of community and fandom and stuff like that, that was the ideal situation for any fandom. That's the kind of level of respect you want to have for each other and the creator.
Absolutely.
It was a beautiful thing to be part of, and it felt like history. Not only that, too, he gave you a sketch of Daredevil.
So he was calling us the wife and Joe, the son. Were calling us one at a time, and
shout out Joe.
Go up there on the list, and they would give us the Spider-Man sketch, which I'm going to pull up right now.
Yeah, so everybody got a copy of this Spider-Man sketch.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, it's good. So everybody got a copy of that.
So everybody got a copy of this. Yep. And then we got to select a headshot sketch. And I let Mama Pev, who, again, did all the legwork, that she gets to pick the headshot. Yeah. So out of all the headshots they had Batman, they had Iron Man, Spider-Man. There were full shots, half shots. She decided she wanted Daredevil with Matt Murdock's headshot. And it's a half
which
shot.
it's hard to see in this. You have to lean it down.
Okay.
How's
that?
That's better. You can actually see in Matt Murdock's glasses Hell's Kitchen. Like you would see the skyline of the city, which is really, really cool.
Yep. And the other side of his face is Daredevil. So
lean it back up. Lean it back up so no one can see.
So that's hers, and apparently I'm just showing it off and everything. So we walked out with these 2 as well, and he also signed 10 of my books, and I was very grateful for that as well. As we're talking to him, we're like literally next to each other after he's signing my book. We even got to take pictures with him. I was very blessed for that as well. And I think we all did. Everybody in the room, you got your book signed, you get to pick your sketches, and you got to take pictures, which if
you wanted to, yeah.
And we also got to hang out with his son, who was really cool, Joe.
Yeah, Joey was
really cool dude. He kept making us laughing, and making his sons laugh as well. His wife, I forgot her name, but she was handling the dog, which was pretty funny. She was showing the dog. Mama Pet wanted to borrow the dog and play with her, but cute little dog. But we had a great time. Even after we got signed, we were allowed to sit there and ask more questions and just enjoy the show, and we did. Fortunately, we had to leave after a while.
But like some of the questions that were asked, even just we asked, because at one point it was myself, Anthony, my mom, and my father dominating the questions. Pretty funny. So one of the questions I asked him was, who was his favorite Marvel hero? And he looked at me dead in the face and said, John Romita Sr. And it
That
was beautiful.
very touching.
Very touching. And then he was like, of course, Spider-Man.
I will on before I think there's a beautiful story that he told us, and it was like it hit me then, it hit me the night after, it still hits me now. And he was telling a story about when he was a kid. Oh, he was having nightmares. He couldn't go to sleep. He was going a couple days without rest. Then he goes downstairs and he talks to his dad, John Romita Sr. And Romita Sr. sits him down and he's like, all right, this is the world of superheroes, comic books. And talk about Daredevil and how in depth, and it's like how these characters are so layered and complicated, and it's like he was joking like, oh, like he even missed school the next day to talk to his dad about it. And it's so touching that
Yeah, till the origin
Yeah.
of Daredevil, saying that he was blind, and like it opened up the world to him because he had a nightmare, and when he sat there and watched him draw and explain what the hero was about, it opened the door for him wanting to.
and we
No
we we see all the time that these comic book characters have their origin stories, and it's crazy when the heroes themselves, the writers, the artists, have their own origin story.
Especially that
That we got to hear the John Romita Jr. have his origin story in real time is something that's honoring to all of us, and it's
very humbling.
Yeah,
to hear it and to know that his father, it was like a passing.
you hear it in his voice. It's
Yeah.
not just hey, like this is something this is a legendary person, his father having one of the most special moments of his entire life, and having it build so deeply upon his life and then his career and the people who then go in turn read these books, and it's such a domino effect where it takes one kid having a nightmare to build an empire of comics. It's truly touching.
It is very touching. I agree with that. John Romita Jr. is one of those names that will live on just like his father. And I can't think of another duo in comics where there's a father and son who worked on the same characters, the same storylines.
Spider-Man, Daredevil,
Yeah, and such legendary heroes. Like, we don't hear that from Batman. We don't hear that from Superman. We don't hear that from
Anyone.
yeah.
I remember we were waiting in the line. I think it was day 3. We were waiting on the line to get into Terrificon, and John Romita and Joe both walked by us to get into the Karen, there's legendary.
Oh yeah, I went Joey,
and we were all like Joey because we were talking to Joey. Then John was right behind us. Hey, John, we're all giving props. And there was a family behind us after we saw it behind. They waved back and talked to us, and they kept going. They were like, they didn't know who John Romita was, and I kind of did like a triple, like what? But these two were like very patient about. I was like, that's John Romita. They were like, that's John Romita.
he's flaring and everything. It's
like, I know, but these guys took it over. Pevin and Anthony were like, that's John Romita. He's an artist for Spider-Man. And the son with them were like, well, did he ever do Web of Spider-Man? And we were like, no, not
Amazing. Yeah.
Look up Amazing Spider-Man. His artwork's there. Peter Parker Spider-Man, he did it. His father used to do Amazing Spider-Man, Daredevil. So like I was very proud that my son was schooling someone who were curious as to who John Romita was. So I give them props as well.
Do it all the time, home.
And it was also, great shout out that, it was like 3 times throughout the convention.
Yeah.
We kept bumping to John Romita and Joe, and we were like, hey, how you doing? And they waved back like, it was cool. That's how interactive this Terrificon is.
And can we just say too, John Romita Jr. it's a hike for him up here. They live in Texas now.
Yeah,
So
I know. They moved
for them to be back up here for the con within the last 2-3 years is heartwarming. So
No, he was raised in New York, so
yeah, but
it's
think
good that
about it
comes
too,
back.
though. If you're in Texas
That
and you
that's
come
awesome,
back
right?
within the next 2 years of you already making an appearance, like that's really nice. But I'm say what you wanted to say.
Yeah, he was gonna say. He was talking about like not going to New York Comic Con. That's his home field. That's
Oh, yeah,
he is.
exactly. He went to the better one. He went to Terrificon.
Yeah, the idea that an A-list guy who is easily attracting so many people is coming to a convention that's not the size of New York speaks volumes to what Terrificon has become in the last 10 years. We're not a minor league convention. We are very much a very big convention that commands a lot of respect. Again, it might not be the size, it might not bring quite the names and volume, but this is still very much a convention that we are proud to support every single year.
Absolutely.
And we will continue supporting until we can't.
I also want to add another
Go ahead,
creator I
bring
have
it
to
up.
talk about. He was there to he promoted the Terrificon poster as well as his stuff. Chris Giarusso, as I
Yeah.
prompted.
Throw the fucking poster. Don't worry.
Sorry about that. So anyway, I'll just say that you picking it up for me. So Chris Giarusso was there at Terrificon, signed my books as well. I call him the G-Man. I got to talk to him. I went to his booth twice. The first time I went there, he signed my books. We're talking. On his table, he had old action figures. Now, bear with me. They were in the original, not original, but in this like plastic thing on it. It looked like it just came out of a toy store. And in the back of it had a comic book. Now I thought it was just a picture because it was of his drawing. Like it took like a cover of a superhero. Like example, a Wolverine. It was the Wolverine that they sold in the early '90s from the X-Men animated series, and he had that action figure in there with a Wolverine book, whiteout, and he had the drawing of Wolverine as a kid in that cover. But he had a bunch of old toys like Silver Surfer from the Fantastic Four set.
Yep.
There was a couple of X-Men.
Deadpool. Yeah.
There was a super animated Superman.
Yep.
And Batman. But those covers, it was cool. And I thought those were just like pictures that he just put in the
No,
toy
it was
thing.
the actual comic.
It was an actual comic, and he corrected me, explained that it was a comic. I said, "Oh my god!" And they were like, it was $20 each. And I was tempted. No, actually, no, not 20. Some were 20. There was a few that was like 70, 60. It ranged.
Yeah.
I think the expensive one I saw was 100, but the toy is all it's old school.
Yeah.
And that drawing was old school. So I went back to him the next day. I got this from the front of Terrificon. I got it for free. And it was the Fantastic Four. There was like two of these. One was Superman, one was the Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
Both drawn by Chris Giarusso. And I brought this to him and said, "Hey, I got this for free. I just wonder if you could sign it." And he signed it right there for me. And I'm going to hang this up as well. Because, two things. A, this is memories of this year's Terrificon. And B, Chris Giarusso.
Keep it up.
He got good style. He draws
Stop bending it.
superheroes. Sorry. He
It's
draws
also the
the
reflection.
superheroes like if it's the Peanut Gang. If you know the Peanut Snoopy Gang, that's how he draws them. And it looks really, really, really cool.
Snooper gang.
So, shout out to Chris Giarusso for doing that for me. And I told him I would talk about him in this show. So if you're watching, 2 thumbs up. And
Probably watch the playback.
and another artist that I need to bring up that no one, we don't talk about.
Which, if you guys are not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Comic Express. I'm sorry, talk about the other artist.
It's the artist Matthew Timasi. I met him last year, and I went back this year because I loved his covers. Now he only does covers of most hottest covers in Marvel, and like he is,
Yeah.
but he has a style that I've never seen before. And I'm gonna pull up this card. This is the only thing I can show to prove it. It looks like someone broke glass, shattered glass on the comic cover, the iconic comic covers. And this is a perfect example. This is Venom #1, the Lethal Protector cover.
Yeah.
And this is his version of it with the shattered glass.
Yeah, you can check out his work at Instagram.com/shattered_comics. That's shattered_comics on Instagram and Facebook.
And he does multiple things. Like he just did the
Last
the
Ronin.
I was gonna say the Fleer Michael Jordan card. He did that as a big shattered glass piece. And
Oh, did he?
it's not just comics. I don't know if it's cards, but again, he does playing cards as actual pieces that you'd hang up in your house.
Or he recently let out the Last Ronin's alternate cover,
Yes.
#1. And I went back there to get some Marvel books that he did. Like
He did Spider-Man 300.
Spider-Man 300, Amazing Fantasy
15.
15, excuse me, 15.
Yeah, 15.
And he also did there was another Amazing Spider-Man. Oh goodness, it's the one, not the Venom cover. There was another one I saw. Tom McFarlane's one. That was old. I missed out on that one, but that was the one I was trying to get as well. The covers look amazing. The way with the shattered glass on it. It's a cool style. Going there, if he's there every year, I'm going to be there every year to pick up a book from, as long as it's Marvel, though, by the way. But his style is phenomenal.
Yo, he was trying
Check
to
it
talk
out.
you hard into the Last Ronin.
The Last Ronin.
Bro, I walked away from
ended
you,
up
came back, and he
I
was
bought
still talking about it.
and I bought it. I ended up buying it because I don't necessarily collect Teenage Mutant
He
Ninja
wasn't
Turtles.
going to leave you alone until you bought the
Well, I was like, I'll get it. And then Damasi comes out and he signs them all. I was like, yo.
He's like, Sylvester's waiting. Just let me buy the damn book.
Well, I mean, I wanted the Spider-Man sign. He knew of it, but he was trying to add more to the sale. That was the salesperson, not Tomasi.
No, yeah,
Tomasi just came as soon as I paid for it. He just came out from like behind the curtain. He was like, "I am here to sign your book," and I was like, "Really?" And he did it. Every book I bought, he signed it. So shout out to him as well.
I think hard to cut. I want to just talk about going back to Terrificon as a convention as an idea.
Yes, let's go to that.
I want to go around from you see three things each. What do you guys want to see from Terrificon 26? And then
Is this how we're
three
closing out the show?
I think this is last ideas. Like
Yeah.
we can go further on each idea.
And this is for Mitch.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start three things. I'm not even sure if I have ideas in my head, but I'm gonna try to on the fly go with them.
Yep.
Three things. I want the continuation of big names. I want McFarlane. Again, I want big names. And there's Carrie Andrews. If we go international, get some of those guys again. McFarlane's Canadian. If we get guys like Carrie Andrews, it's a big idea. With that being said, Terrificon's only getting bigger. We are going to be demanding names again, like Jim Lee. It's a huge thing for it. It does so much for you long term, getting recurring customers.
Mm-hmm.
I think getting big names will continue to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see the continuation of really hammering it down to one idea again. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was like a big idea this year. It was a big theme. Again, it might come at the cost of something like pro wrestling or getting like some people, but commit to doing horror one year. Again, you could do a pro wrestling year. You could do Power Rangers. You could do Transformers. You could do certain movies and really hammer down on that. I think that's a great way to get a demographic that wouldn't go to a convention to come to a convention. And then the last thing is possibly expand to a different venue. Again, Mohegan is a great venue. It is.
I would also like to see a bigger venue.
Brings out so many people. Again, you go to the casino, go drink, go gamble, maybe go to a show afterwards, and you have a convention there. Well, I can tell you from Horror Fest, CT Horror Fest, they have 2 shows a year in 2 venues. One is a full. They go to a convention center. Full place. It's huge. It brings out great numbers, great people. And they have one on the other side of the year, and it was in the one that we went to this past year was in a hotel, not convention center. Hotel.
It was a basement. It was essentially a basement. Yeah,
it was like an attachment to a hotel. Yeah. And in this hotel, they had huge heavy hitters like David Howard Thornton and the entire cast of Terrifier. Yeah. And I thought it was such a great success to have 2 a year. Even if you do keep Terrificon 1 in Mohegan, I would maybe look to do a second one and maybe do it in like February. Maybe do it in March. Do it on the other side of the year so you're not necessarily competing with yourself.
Honestly, the XL Center in Hartford.
So you're saying like
be cool.
Instead of one big convention a year, you want to do 2?
Yeah, and so
maybe one big convention and one medium-sized convention.
Yeah, or even if we have to cut a couple names on this one, we still have 2 that are bringing in good numbers, good money, and maybe you're not competing with Boston Fan Expo. You're not competing with New York Comic Con or San Diego.
Sure.
It might be a way to bring in more big names and expand the brand further. Again, I think it might hurt our wallets as guys who are supporting Terrificon every single convention, but I think long term that could work out well. Again,
or even I just want to explain that because that's one of mine too. Just a bigger venue would be nice, even if you stay at Mohegan, because Mohegan has like the Wolf Den, for instance. If you collapse all those chairs and stuff like that, and like that's pretty decent sized venue.
Fit Jim Lee in there.
I mean, obviously that's on your list. I think that's fine. I think Mohegan is perfect.
Well, let's hear.
It's not bad. I'm just saying we're getting bigger. I want bigger names.
Sure.
Well, if it does get bigger, I mean, it's going to fall on.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you though, too. Even if. So again, anyone in Connecticut's going to know this, and maybe New York and just New England in general. But there's another convention that Mitch actually hosts called GamerCon, and it's actually in the other convention center that's there. And it's basically just a lot of the hotel rooms and conference rooms opened up into this larger venue. Okay. If they did Terrificon on 2 sides of Mohegan, I'd be okay with that. That'd be really hard to.
Also, I would imagine, at least off the common person, that Mohegan would like that. Because again, you have to do a little more foot traffic.
Yeah.
Maybe you stop play game. Maybe you lose all your money, and then Mohegan's happy.
Yeah, this is real. What was your big names, bigger venue, and
I like the themes. Lean into
and
the
themes.
Keep
Okay.
going with
Again, if
All
you
right.
if you are doing that, still keep majority of the writers and artists the same. Like keep doing what we're doing already, and just like a lot of like celebrities. If you do want to do like a Spawn, you would have to probably sacrifice a couple writers and artists to get certain other writers and artists, which I would love. I get that's not going to be the most popular, but
Sure.
again, it will still bring in feet. It'll still bring in heads. So it's down to what Mitch wants to do, what Mitch can do.
Yeah.
Well, right now, Mitch is like, I got those covered, except for the expansion. He'll lose sleep on that one. This year, I every year I see the past 2 or 3 years, we saw the big giant Thanos. You see the picture, you'll know. And this year they flew in Galactus. The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
they made Galactus. He was at San Diego and they brought him here to Connecticut. I like to see more of that every year. Maybe expand it a little more than just those two.
So expand cosplay
yeah,
or
a little more-
expand.
not just cosplay, but also expand like statues that people could just take pictures with, or like
That brother wasn't a
or
statue. That was a
something-
whole guy.
I mean, yeah, that Thanos was a whole guy. I'm glad he was.
No, Galactus was a whole guy.
He was mobile. To take
Thanos was just a statue.
but like, yeah, and I think another statue or two may be pretty cool.
And more decorations. I like
Yeah,
that.
more
I like
decorations.
That's true.
I like the comic. Those little curtains that they
Yeah.
were as you walk it in. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, that's
The
not
Star
going
Wars
away.
section where you're hanging out with the cosplayers of the Jedi. The
Big ass
Stormtrooper.
Chewbacca.
The
That's-
501st.
to me, that's
What
perfect.
new things you want to see is what Anthony's asking you.
New things? I think. I don't know. I think it's to me it's perfect. I mean, it's the perfect convention. Because it's not too hectic. It's not too. I mean, even the worst day is Saturday, and even that isn't bad compared to like Saturday in the bigger conventions.
So is there
So-
anything you would want improved on, or
If I were to
Or changed even?
I mean, I would agree with maybe more celebrity, more writers and artists that
Bigger
never
names.
been there, bigger names or
Sure.
different names
Mhm.
that's never been there. Keep inviting them. Venues like I think maybe more different venues. I mean, I like the comic this year, but like you said, you kind of missed the venues that kind of wasn't there this year. So like keep expanding.
more vendors?
The
vendors.
also
I
the
thought you
newer
said
type
venue.
of vendors, like the cosplay vendor that showed up this year. You know their names, so you want
I
to
forget them. It's all right.
We'll talk about them in future episodes.
I'm not going to talk about it
them
until I know that the cosplay is good.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's good.
When they bring down the helmet price, they'll do it.
Trust me, it's worth it, I think. Just like the interaction. I think the interaction to me, keep up the guest who shows up, keep up the great work when you come up to Terrificon and be, they're not afraid to interact with the fans, and I'm very appreciative. Keep that going, because and that's for the fans. No, don't be disrespectful. That's what I'm gonna say. Terrificon is terrific for a reason, and as fans, we're part of that reason. So let's keep that going every year.
And Pev, let's wrap this up. 3 things that you think could be changed or improved upon.
Well, so it was said. I agree. Bigger venue would be cool. I don't know if I like the idea of breaking up the con into 2 different times, like CT Horror Fest, but I do think either opening up the other side of Mohegan to expand the con would be cool, or just a bigger venue. The XL Center doesn't even use. In comparison to what we saw at the XL Center for Connecticon versus what we see in Terrificon, that would be a really nice vendor to take a venue. Sorry,
Maybe when the Suns leave and they don't do anything in that area, they could probably
Arena?
convert.
That'd be a little harder for the arena unless they had like big time panels and they get like
That would be cool.
that'd be tough.
yeah,
That'd
that
really
would be
tough.
tough.
It would be tough, but it's almost like the other bigger conventions.
No,
they use two
I think
floors.
it's either they do the XL Center, the same place they do CT Connecticon, or Horror Fest. Yep. Yep.
I love the whole
Or-
thing.
Can I get through my 3? All right,
That's
thank
it.
you.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. So bigger venue would be really nice.
All right.
I actually want to see more recognition for the venues that are. Fuck, you did it, and now I'm doing it.
vendors.
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 So, for instance, I feel like everybody who gets a ticket for Terrificon should vote on who was their favorite vendor to buy things for, and that's an automatic. You get a spot to come back next year. It's a way to recognize small-time creators, supporting small businesses, and
like
it's
that.
guaranteed. Not guaranteed. It makes the chances of them coming back a little bit higher. So maybe at the end of the con, when they do the cosplay costume thing, they announce, "Hey, this year's vendor of the year goes to
I like that.
and then
like
they
that
get the
idea.
opportunity. They don't have to wait for the 9th to purchase their vendor spot and then have to move spots. You know what I'm saying? If they win, if they want to come back, they can.
Give a little
So-
politics to the vendors. I like that idea.
Well, it encourages you to do better. You know what I mean? Instead of staying stagnant.
Maybe we'll bring your fucking Hellboys book this time.
This vendor was shit. Did not have Hellboy.
I literally saw 2 other. There were 4 vendors who had any Hellboy books of note.
Yeah.
And even then, 2 of them really didn't have much. Or like one guy was selling them for tremendously overpriced. I think they had the first appearance of Hellboy.
Yeah.
About the same condition. $75 more than what I paid for it. And that's damn near double what I paid. Like
This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Thank you, Queen Blue Jay, for the follow. How are you, Jay?
that's going okay.
No, I agree with you. So I think that kind of voting system where now the attendees get to pick who was the best vendor overall for experience will encourage people not only to move a little bit better on prices, but will also encourage to bring like special items for people.
Let me ask you a final question to that
Sure.
point. Would you base the votes on customer service, or would you base it on
Martin likes that
experience as to finding the books you couldn't find or did?
It doesn't matter. I
we
think
both-
that will be completely up to the guests. You know what I mean? So if a comic book vendor wins every year, it probably would be to the point of I found my books here for a good price. Where if a retailer wins, it's because I found what I was looking for at a good price, or they were super nice, or they were very helpful, or they were willing to work with me.
There is a group there that I love their service. Again, a lot of their books are higher
Yeah.
priced.
But the service, these
yeah.
guys were pretty nice.
I go back every year, even if I know I don't have like quite the money for all of it. This year I bought a Punisher War Machine book from that. Again, I'm like, hey, I want to support them. I know they're very nice. They do a bunch of stuff on Whatnot.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to be able to support them even a little bit, even if I'm not buying a $300 book.
Like, yeah, I had good experience with every vendor I met this year.
Yeah, but then that
customer
would
service
also.
is there.
But then if they also give you with your ticket, hey, here is a little raffle ticket, put it in the vendor that you like. And if you and the rest of the people vote on that, this person, we're going to invite them to come back, no questions asked. You know, they'll find out at the end of the con if they're coming back next year.
No, me, I keep voting for everybody. So
Yeah, but you'd only get one ticket. That's
one
the
ticket,
idea.
and that's different. That'd be
Yeah.
tough. That would be
So
tough. for me
I
to
think
do.
that would be great. And then honestly, I think the same thing can be done for really, really anything in the con. My last what were you gonna say?
I was going to ask you a quick question because
Sure.
you guys were around the floor more than me. Did the soda people were there this year?
They were
Yeah.
there.
They were. I didn't see
Yeah.
them with the little metal cups.
They were right
I love
next to
those.
the
I saw the.
they were in the same spot. Yeah, they were
I
next to
saw
each.
the we call it the meat.
Yeah, the
jerky ones.
beef jerky.
I saw the people.
Yeah,
It was new. The coffee maker ones.
Oh
That
yeah,
was new.
they're right next to those.
So,
yeah, they were there still.
I didn't see the soda people.
No, they were
They were tucked away a little bit. Yeah, they're there.
Oh,
Something else I would love to see is more activities at the con. So right now you have a meet and greet that changes every year, and then they always do the 501st Legion is there for Star Wars training for the kids.
I know they do prizes for cosplay. I think they should maybe even more.
I have a panel for the cosplay.
Yeah, because Sunday
Maybe
night
even
is
more.
always the contest, the costume contest.
Keep
But-
pushing it. Maybe one each day. I don't know. I don't know.
Like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you leave it towards the end of the con every day, or you break it up into like New York Comic Con does panels.
Yeah.
Can Terrificon do that? Probably not for new things, but even CT.
Oh, terrific!
Uh,
Those panels. They do
But
panels.
it's not,
No,
not
like-
much for newer stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like think about it like this, right? So Kineticon this past year did a reunion for the Sonic X voice actors.
right.
They all came back. They all spoke to the fans. That was really, really cool.
Okay.
Terrificon has that, but on a smaller basis. It would be really cool if they did more of those for different things.
Well, they did that. If they did more, it would affect the autograph situation.
Yeah, but
If they
maybe you don't
disappear
do
for
it.
2 hours. And
But if you do it at the end of the con,
they do that. But I think they do it during the con, and it's themed like the Teenage Mutant Turtle one. There was a
Sure.
con on that. There was one where Marvel writers get their opinion. There was one with
Sure, but
DC
again,
artists.
it doesn't have to even be panels. Like they did lightsaber training for the kids through the 501st Legion all
course.
day. or they did what was it, the contents. If they added more like little activities to do, I think that could be beneficial.
They used to have video games like you
One-
gamers
and yeah,
in
one-
the corner.
One year they had it. They still had a DDR machine, but that was all there was. It was right across from where the horror specialist was for.
I didn't go that far.
Yeah, but there other than that,
So
there really
much to see
wasn't.
over there.
Yeah, for real. But that's what I would like to see. I think I'm valid in those. But
Everything it's close to perfect. And I gotta thank Mitch, give him a shout out for pulling it together.
yes,
I know
thank
it's
you,
not
Mitch.
easy, but we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And keep it up, and we'll just keep buying our tickets to keep going back every year. I think
So,
it's awesome.
Final thought.
Terrific.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say final thought again. Terrificon's a convention that I cannot recommend enough. There's when in a world where we're dominated by the Comic Cons and the fan expos, something like a Terrificon that doesn't have the big brand to go multiple places, it might be top of the line for being one singular place.
Right.
And if it does lead to more big names, then I'll be right there with you. Again,
Shout out to Mohegan Sun for hosting it.
yeah,
as
thank
well.
you, Mohegan.
Yes, thank you, Mohegan.
Because it brings us there, and if when we're taking breaks, the restaurants, the casino, gamble,
Yeah,
get some
food's
extra money
always
to buy more
good.
comics.
Yep.
I mean, there's so much to do over there. Highly recommend. Even on the normal day, go to Mohegan, but for Terrificon, that's a special 3 days. Go there. I highly recommend it.
Also, final shout out Russ Braun, the goat, my best friend in the world. Russ
What are you
Braun.
gonna have him draw next year?
You know what? Maybe we'll do a little post. Maybe we'll vote on it. What do we want? Maybe we'll put an open thing in the story. We'll have people little suggestions. What do we want Russ Braun to draw?
And speaking of, if you were gonna put that poll out, where can the good people find you?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you. So they can vote on this poll.
All socials, WebheadVega. Again, I'm decently active. I don't post too much, but you'll see me around.
Draw Emma Frost. Barton the Goon.
And I also got to shout out to I don't usually see the celebrity as much because I'm so busy focused on the writers, artists, and then do a little shopping around. I love seeing the celebrities, but getting the money to go see them. But I do have to give a shout out. This year I went to see a celebrity. It was Brian Posehn from The Big Bang Theory / Deadpool writer, co-writer.
Yep.
And I got to see him and got to take a picture. You can post that later. It was awesome. To meet him. It was funny as hell. Good shout out to him as well. So it makes me want to meet more celebrities. So maybe I'll see more every year.
All right, perfect. Thank you all for joining us. Webhead, thank you for being here as well. Anthony, I appreciate you.
Pleasure to be here.
Awesome, man.
Always good. Always good to have you. So that was our first episode of No Pros, All Cons, where we review conventions. If you guys want to see more of this, please let me know down in the comment section. Make sure you follow over on twitch.tv/Comic Convo Express and subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Comic Convo Express. I'm Pedro Vega, Pev Gamer, and thank you for being here.
Deuces.